I hear lots of bullets.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I made it, I made
Ow.
it. Barely. Ah! Something just came down from above. That was scary. Okay, I'm okay.
I'm inside the circle.
Yep.
Building, would not recommend this.
Yeah, we need to move right after this.
Reloading. Is that our? It's one of our cluster mines. Who fired that?
Do you have any armor?
No, I have no armor.
We can't stay in it.
Someone drop Sam some armor.
I did. I dropped 4.
Oh, sorry. I'll here.
They're all right above you.
Dad, help me.
Are they on the hill?
Yes.
I mean, we literally only have one way we can move.
Yeah, up the stairs. Up the stairs, Tom. The only way up.
Nope.
Proceed.
Distraction. Oh, that one did not mean to throw that one. Can I pick it up? Yep.
Yes.
I'm somehow alive.
How are we alive?
Shh. Oh, we're not in the zone. Oh god.
This is gonna be messy.
Oh,
do we have to go all the way around?
I don't know.
Are we-
I think
are
you
we
might
dead?
know this here might be able to.
No. I don't have a gas mask either. Oh my goodness, we're gonna die. What is this game? I hate how you can't run up the simplest of cliffs. Oh, I nearly made it.
I know, Sam.
Oh, last chance, boys.
Are we just gonna die like this?
Yeah.
Can you C4 jump in this game?
Guys, I'll see you later.
Can you,
Bye, everyone.
can you
No,
use
you
C4
cannot.
to jump?
No, you cannot. There's no C4 jumps in this game.
Weapon drop jump.
You can't do that.
Boost, crouch and boost it.
Ah! That's so stupid.
Oh, I had a gas mask. I probably could have made it.
I hate this game sometimes, just for stuff like this. Like, it's just like you can do so much stuff in here. You get like trapped in a tiny little bit of rock, and then suddenly you can't get over it.
You are completely unable to jump, aren't you?
It's like such a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you survive, Devin?
I had a gas mask and I didn't realize, and I
Yeah.
probably could have survived if I just tried to run to the end. As it turns out.
Man, we could have done better, I reckon. So I hate this game just for that. So many times we've died or can't do something just because there's a little tiny bit of rock in your way.
Yeah.
You're done, aren't you? Where did you finish?
Good work.
5th.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, we were close. We had 3 people left coming to the final. Oh, we're done now.
Yeah, that's definitely enough.
You're not gonna go to
Forza.
bed.
Adam, you keep coming on really late.
I was at work. I've only just come home.
No, I can keep playing.
Hey, someone's
You got
still
3
I can
people,
do.
Sam. So.
Yeah.
Didn't Les want to play?
He's with Jamel, but who knows what we're doing now.
Are you done everything for the night, Tom, or did you want a little more
Yeah.
Rocket League?
Long term.
I have to tell you, they've had a
Equipment?
COVID breach at work. We've had.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Someone's gone down with COVID, and they spent last weekend flouting the rules with everyone else from biochemistry on a someone's leaving do, and I had all these photos on Facebook of them all flouting the rules, and there's like a group photo of 12 of them,
Oof.
and one of them's gone down with COVID, and now they've all had to self-isolate,
And they're gonna get fired.
and so, well, they can't do that, they can't afford it, so they're now at a critical level of staff, and they're gonna have to probably shut Bournemouth biochemistry and transport
What are you
samples to Poole.
You're gonna go to pool?
Well, I'm working hematology, so it doesn't affect me. But biochemistry, which is essentially, it's a big lab, and there's like 2 parts to it. You know, one is biochemistry, one hematology. So we see them quite a bit, even if we don't actually work together. But yeah, so they've had to, like halve the number of staff. And it's just like, oh god. And they've got 2 weeks of this, of course. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Some people are doing 4 nights in a row.
Oof.
4 12-hour shifts, 4 12-hour nights in a row because
What's up, Jimmy?
they
What
got
are
no
you
staff.
oofing?
I'm sorry, what?
You went oof. Whatever it was.
People doing 4 nights in a row, 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, not great. This is why they brought the new rules in, eh?
Yeah. Well, as in, did he know he had COVID but still flouted the rules?
No, it was she. Most of
Okay.
it. But no, I don't think so. They found out because it's only rules come out today. So obviously they found out today that they've got COVID, and now they've had to send half the staff home, and 1 person in hematology went, so they've had to go home as well. But yeah, like half of biochemistry has now just disappeared for the next 2 weeks. It's like, oh dear.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
Alright, see you, Tom.
Yep, same here.
Alright.
Alright,
Later on.
we'll be joining.
I don't know. You
I
in
don't
the
know.
party?
Oh, I'm trying to join you.
I'll just invite you then.
It's not joinable.
Yeah, it says not joinable on mine. So.
Well, it says you when I tried to join you, but now you have. I have joined. Alright, Sam joined through me.
I got an invite from Adam, so.
Hey.
There
You
we
want to play as 3 or do you want to do 4s? See if what Les is doing.
He's playing squad of Jamal.
Oh, okay. I
Where is it? Is it?
I got rid of squad because my RAM, my
Your RAM.
not my
yeah,
RAM,
that-
no,
that's
my
why, so that's why
my
you have a limited amount of
HDD
space.
doesn't have room, so I was like,
No, it's understandable.
oh
Like,
wait,
like, installing on RAM, that's really bad. Not enough space, dude.
Just
Suppose you can
Ah.
even play Warzone.
You got
that's
6.
fine. That's I got rid of squad for that.
This is my last game. I'm only doing one game.
Oh.
I need. I'll probably get squad back when I get the 2 terabyte HDD instead.
You're not. What are you waiting? You ordered one?
So what?
Have you ordered one then, or you just?
No, I'm waiting for when I'm in uni.
I like 50 quid.
I know.
Actually, if you go used, they're probably even cheaper. I think. Can't remember how much I paid for my used one. 30, I think.
Shotgun.
Can there be 4s in Breeze?
No.
No.
I think it'll be freezing falls. Don't work their way around.
Saved you.
I'll turn you great. Got him.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Fuck him up. Fuck him up.
Enemy soldier
Damn it.
incoming. You're done warming up. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Ooh, that's interesting.
What a circle. What a terrible circle.
Are vehicles back? Do you know?
Yes,
they're
vehicles are back. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, well, down to Norwich.
Damn
Well,
again.
Well, have you done lots of damn? Okay.
We've done
but-
1 dam
but
today,
bone
but
one?
it didn't really work. We did 1 dam, it didn't work.
There's also
Because
bone-
we did make it to dam.
Oh. You didn't even make it to damn. That doesn't count as a damn then, does it?
That's what your squad leader say. But
So, damn it is then. Let's try for a real
Alright.
damn.
come on, Sam, let's go.
Don't you have to open your parachute as soon as you can?
Yep, straight away.
Yeah.
No one's coming with us, so that's good. Keep gliding.
Soaring with style.
If we don't make it, I might go in that vehicle. Get on it.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know if we're gonna make it. Maybe we jumped a bit too early.
Get in, bitches.
I'm on the wheel.
Oh man.
Where are you going?
Hey, we just landed on the roof straight in.
We're heading to dam, but if you can't make it, I've got the car for this.
Perhaps, come on. You're on my level.
It's a race. Go, Jimmy, go. Oh no, he's in the lead. He's gonna beat us. Run him down.
Alright. I'm good. Okay. We'll switch.
Everybody out.
Supply box
Let's do this quickly,
No, it's not.
and then we'll head down to
Yes,
lower down.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to find some stuff first, unfortunately.
I know there's no one, so that's why I'm going to lower down straight away.
Mhm.
Next objective located.
Can someone land on the roof and take the helicopter with us?
Can someone or did someone? Ooh, machine gun.
Ooh, machine gun. Big game with guns.
It's a legendary machine gun, that's what I decided.
Yeah. Pick up the helicopter, someone. We need helicopter to get out here fast.
Okay,
We're really far away.
okay, we guys. I've never flown a helicopter.
Base and stuff. Yeah. Don't crash it.
Got gas moving in. Contract complete. All supply boxes located.
Landed.
Alright. There we go. Loot a little bit. Come over here to us, Sam. Gas is coming, so make it quick.
Snappy boy.
Bit of a run.
There's no shot round here, is there?
No, we had to fly to a shop.
I'll have to leave soon.
Yeah, let's quickly make our way to a shop, then buy our stuff and fuck off. I'm coming. To the helicopter. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
You want to stop in the zone then?
Yeah, fly. We need.
Where'd you-
We can stop just on the outside of the zone.
Pick a location.
Keep going. Just keep going this way first.
Now it looks like there's stuff happening here, so we don't want to go there, right?
The shots firing below us somewhere.
I can't remember the flight part. The flight part's pretty bad, so should we fly all the way here instead?
It's a long way.
It is a long way.
Well, I suppose we have got trophy system on the helicopter.
Yes, we
list.
do. Because the problem is the flight paths were
Whoa.
through the middle of the entire map.
Is that someone's drone?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, one pop him. Oh no, it went straight down.
Shots.
The popping, I meant by Adam hitting him.
Tagged him once.
Oh,
Okay.
there's a helicopter behind us.
Tagged him twice. Yeah, I tagged him like twice.
Yeah, I told the helicopter to fuck off. I bop him a couple of times for an AK.
There's
Some people just got
there's a
bought
guy
back.
there. He's in a vehicle, isn't he? He's in a vehicle. We're heading
Don't
for-
waste your ammo.
Too late.
Yeah. The shop I'm taking us to is quite secluded. People are already fighting on top of prison.
Is anyone
Go.
down? Is anyone down there?
Don't think so.
Come on, descend. I don't think it takes a long time to descend. Oh, shots, that's bad.
Where?
Behind somewhere, up the hill, I think.
Yes, north.
Shit. This one we thought was free.
I'm
Happens.
surprised it took so long to shoot at things that we'd landed. first.
Got no spare armor. Damn.
I got my armor. Come up here.
I've got none.
I dropped 2 piles. What the fuck are they shooting us from? That's the question.
I don't know. And the other shops are way down there.
Vendor here. Might have what you need.
Can't see them on thermal, but of course they might have. Whatever it's called, cold blood.
Are you sure it was up there?
Oh, it's from somewhere from north.
Yeah, it was behind it. It showed up on them. I mean, maybe they just run off. Maybe they're just shooting us from afar, and that was it.
Unless you drop me the money, I'll go for it. Drop me money, Sam. I'll go for it. Watch my ass.
Drop on the way.
Oh, there's a friendly loadout coming in. As well.
Car? They just got out.
Loadout drop inbound.
I dropped it, but get ready to fight the car. But they got a helicopter. Get your loadout, boys.
No, didn't kill him.
Yeah, they took the helicopter.
Yeah. So,
Question is there anything else we need to buy, like a UAV or anything, or armor? Might want to go.
I haven't got any armor. I guess we need an armor box then.
Yeah.
Armor box, that's the one.
Lethal here. Disregard last.
Armor.
Wiggle, wiggle, digger.
Bit of body armor
Alright.
here.
And if you want trouble with ammo, well, we don't have enough ammo for it either way.
Yeah, I've got plenty of ammo anyway.
This is going to be our home now.
A little bit.
I guess for now, until we find out where the rest of the next zone is going to be.
Being tracked by an enemy.
We're getting hunted.
Yeah, lovely.
Lovely.
Gas is inbound.
Oh, we have to make our way towards prison. It's gonna end near prison.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well, considering where the circle's heading, yeah. I'm trying to look where's the best place to hide. They're coming.
Who's they?
Your hunters.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Up the hill. Up the hill.
Whoa.
Watch it, up the hill.
Yep.
They're coming. There's a window behind there.
This way, move it. They're off somewhere. They're running around, I know that. Oh, they're close by again.
Yeah,
They're up the hill.
they're on threat. Level.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a door right behind me. Crap.
Yes. Oh, there's a different team, I think, trying to fight them. Yep. Down the store. Disabled vehicle.
Nice.
There might be more. Watch out. Just in case
Destroyed a vehicle.
someone over there.
Oh crap! He didn't. Oh, he's coming in through the door. Window even.
Ow! I shot him in the head.
If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Alright, I shot him in the head and didn't count.
You'll be out there soon enough.
Sam,
Yeah, what up?
what did you do?
Killed the guy.
You're up next.
But I just died because his teammate flanked me.
the same gulag. Interesting.
That's going bad.
Well,
I shot that guy in the head, just like, nope.
They're still flying down
What happens when the
No,
timer
just-
runs out? I'm guessing that, like, you just go
there. Yeah.
back.
No, we just spawn back in.
There is
Mine's
no,
on.
it just says prepare to fight. There's a timer for them down there. It says no. I think it's
We've
glitched.
got no opponents. No, we got no opponents.
Let's hope it
That's
stays
something
that
for
way.
that.
I do now. Right, where's he going?
I mean, the only chance is...
Basically, if you waste time,
Where-
me and Jimmy might come back.
Oh no, there's people just died.
Where is he going? Home.
I can't see him. Oh, he's to your left. Oh. Good. The only thing we can do is go to that.
Middle?
Like, oh.
Run through middle.
There's
Middle.
the,
Don't worry. Go back. Jimmy, you back as well?
yeah, I'm going to.
Oh, I'm so low as well. 2 HP or something.
Oh, no, there's people at the loadouts area.
We bugger off this way.
No, we need a loadout. It's the only thing we can do.
Copy. I'm
There's
on it.
people towards the shop.
Station there.
Far side there.
Contact.
So, yeah, what? There's people at that shop to the right.
And why didn't you get the loadout?
Good do, good night.
I did. Just keep your head down. Be quiet. Get fast and run.
Oh, guy up above.
Guy coming. Guy coming. He didn't see you. Run. Run, Sam. Just get it behind the building.
He's coming. He's just popped out.
Forget that. Going this way.
Damn it.
Oh, he legged it.
Like left side. Oh, I can get a window for him. Sam, where do you go?
You know what what are we trying to do?
There was someone behind you that was shooting.
He wants to kill him.
Someone's coming in there.
Someone coming there.
Contact.
I know the zone's coming, but
Is he in the building or?
I don't know where he's gone now. Oh, found him.
Hostiles in the area. Hostiles in the area. Stun around.
Oh, the oh, to my right. Fucking hell.
There's another one.
Yeah. Didn't think they'd think I'd eat the same point. Alright, anyways, good game,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm doing anything as well.
I'll harass Jamanza for a few minutes and then I'm leaving for sleep.
Everyone's going to bed early.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
User
Goodbye,
left your
everyone.
channel. User disconnected
Left
from your channel. Channel switched.
Hello, all. They've all gone to bed.
Hi Adam,
Hello.
how you doing, buddy?
Alright. There's been a COVID outbreak at work.
Oh, nice.
Well, not so nice. Luckily, it's biochemistry, not hematology.
You don't need to self-quarantine or self-isolate for 2 weeks?
Not yet, no. But so yeah, the one person in biochemistry got it, and last weekend, about a dozen of them were having a farewell party for someone and flouted social distancing.
What about the rule of 6?
Well, now it's only a guideline; it's not a rule. At least not until Monday.
Yeah,
Didn't technically break any rules, but there's like pictures on Facebook that have now been removed. It's like them all clearly not following social distancing and stuff. And so they've all had to go into isolation now.
Yeah.
So biochemistry's lost about half of its staff. Yeah, it's not good. They might have to shut Bournemouth biochemistry and have all the samples sent to pool and things. So yeah, it's a bit of a disaster down there. But I suppose it's something that was bound to happen to someone. It's always, eventually we're going to get an actual case that could knock a few people out. At least I don't have to worry about it yet.
Oh, wait, why in Hearthstone?
Because you were, and because I need quests to complete. I have quests to complete.
No, I left Hearthstone.
Yeah, you said you. I said you were.
Yeah, no.
Were implies past.
I'm already bored by it again.
Unless you're back to doing arenas.
I've been back to doing arenas for a while now. It's just I'm not good enough to do it without playing constructed.
Mhm.
Because you need to average like 7 or 8 wins to go infinite.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, constructed is just horrible. I don't glean much fun from it. And arena is becoming less interesting as well. Now, there's bullshit there as well. It's the least bullshit mode in the game, but it's still bullshit. And the most bullshit classes in arena are priest and mage, which are also the 2 most bullshit classes in constructed right now.
Priest is just ridiculous. So many messes and stealing your minions.
Yeah, there's just too many ways to generate value now.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
They just kind of they can just sit there and just absorb wave after wave of whatever you throw down. They just get rid of it.
Yeah, and just too much randomness. Hard to play around stuff when they could generate all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just makes the game less reliant on skill as well.
That is true.
Because your best shot is just to play around nothing when they could have anything. Whereas before, when there wasn't so many ways to generate new cards, you know they have like certain number of copies of certain cards, and that's what you got to play around.
Yeah, that's true. They have generally, 2 of everything, generally speaking. And then...
But now they can play like ridiculous number of legendary cards because they keep generating extra copies of them. And they seem to have made like Beast and Mage's class identity to just be like generating lots of extra stuff through discover and random effects. And Priest is so toxic to play against.
Definitely. It just seems to get worse every expansion.
It does, yeah.
It's like, oh. I feel like standard is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be OP, quote unquote. There should be. It doesn't feel like standard is standard anymore.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I stopped playing Wild a little while ago to yeah, just try and find something more low powered. But
Your tour ends here.
Yeah, they're equally as powerful in there.
yeah, arena's the closest thing.
Here for the tour?
Yeah.
But yeah, puzzle box and mind control are just insane in arena. Puzzle box has gotten ridiculously strong right now in the current standard cycle, because all the bad spells are rotated out.
Yeah, I think.
It's very consistent right now. It will destroy whatever your opponent has on the board. It will build your board. It will draw you cards. It's just insanely good. I haven't seen a bad puzzle box this standard cycle. Way too OP right now. It's not so good in Wild because yeah, all the bad spells are in Wild. But when they printed it, there were still bad spells in Standard. But they've only been printing good spells since. And yeah, mind control is such a backbreaker in Arena. I feel it should have lower occurrence bonus. Like every single priest past like I don't know 5 wins is bound to have at least one mind control. So it means you can't draft like expensive minions or you'll get wrecked by priests.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, I don't understand how mind control's occurrence bonus wasn't reduced a long time ago. It's always been like priest's best card in Arena.
Nothing but a bunch of big birds.
Well, I folded. I bought the G9.
Nice.
It's actually quite hard to get hands on one
Why is that?
because
Limited availability?
limited availability, yeah.
Or where'd you buy it from?
eBuyer consists of basically like refreshing all like 6 different web pages on my phone every like break time or lunchtime and seeing if there's any in stock. And quite a few websites now give you the option to just have it ping you.
Sent to you once it's available?
Yeah, it sends you an email saying this thing is now back in stock.
Right. Yeah, notify me.
Yeah.
That's not a new thing, Ed.
No, but I don't know. I swear more websites do it now than used to. Than used to. Not all of them do, but most of them do now.
That's why every time I've selected notify me for a product, I've never got any notifications.
Yeah, I know. For what is it called? For Amazon, it didn't seem to work because there was a really random one that showed up. It was £200 more expensive than normal, and it was from some seller with 6 reviews, and it was 3-star reviewer. It's a bit dodgy. And yeah, again, it didn't ping me. It didn't tell me that it was available back in Amazon's website store. But eBuyer got an email. I don't know how quickly after it came available, but soon after I got the email, they were out of stock. You got the email straight in, buy, bam, and like 10 minutes later there was none left. So clearly it was popular, or yeah, I only saw it right at the end. It's like, quick, go, go, go. I did have to pay a slight tax hiatus on it compared to the RRP. I think it was £30 over the RRP. Isn't too bad. But yeah, it's like everywhere you look, it's like out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. It's like, dang.
When's it coming?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. I didn't. Oh, I should have played that out. Yeah, because it's weird. Like they have Super Saver, economy delivery. It was £11, and next day delivery was 13 something. It's like £2 more. Well, I think I'll pay for the next day delivery then. Don't think much of your Super Saver delivery options.
You think this is your time? Mine is not.
Probably because like it's very large
Yeah,
package.
I guess. But I just feel like almost like my option. Why not? But yeah, I think it is a big thing to ship. So problem is, of course, is I won't be able to use it to its full capacity when it shows up. Not until I get the new graphics cards come out. The old 1080, the old 1070 doesn't have DSC. So you're limited to 120 frames per second.
I don't think that's your biggest issue with the
No.
1070.
Yes, obviously trying to run anything at essentially 4K is probably not going to be breaking 120 FPS anyway. But you know, it'd be nice to have the menu, you know, when you're doing other things outside of
So you're 100% going for the 3080 over the 90.
Yeah. I believe so. Make a lot more sense than spending a fortune out of that.
Adam, why didn't you trade into one ones before you?
I'm not paying attention, that's why. I don't care, I'm just gonna get through the deck. Yeah, what were they saying? I've no idea now, but I guess, I don't know. Well, I've read off my train of thought now.
I don't know, we're just talking about which cards to get.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, I can't justify the cost because, like, it's such a huge price delta. That's the problem. Like, if it was, you know, a couple £100 or something, but it's the fact that it's double. It's you know, it's more than double if you actually buy a baseline price. You know, if you get one for $650 versus $1,400.
Yeah.
It's more than double the price, and it's for 20%. And yes, obviously 20% would be nice, but you know, that's a heck of a lot for. And in fact, yeah, you can literally go out and buy another whatever they replace it with in 2 years even. For this, and if you sold your other car for nothing, you'd still be up.
Yeah.
It's the difference in the cost relative to the performance. It's you know, even if yes, for what I've got, the monitor, clearly it would be advantageous to have. But you know, the price to performance is so huge. You know, if anything, you know, it's kind of like the 3080 is too good in terms of its price. You know, because it's only $650. I mean, you know, the RRP is $650, and it's coming in at $650 from some of the IRBs. So you know, it's almost like if that costs $850 or $1,000, you kind of go, oh, you can always, you know, justify more if you went one step higher, but because it's not like that, you can't really justify the huge price delta between a very good car for £650, £700.
Yeah, so
the King of Kings, but it's £1,200.
I should probably do the same, man.
Life and hope.
My train of thought convincing you to change your mind now.
I already heard this argument. It's very hard for me to not go for top performance when it's available.
Hang on a second.
Microphone muted.
Got both backdoor keys.
I don't know, probably. There's one set there. Probably because I was dashing around.
Yes.
I'm nothing one of those.
Yeah.
Have you got the conservatory key still, or is it on the door? Okay.
Microphone activated.
What? Alright. Yeah, hello.
Hello again.
Let me work my magic.
I could still hear you, by the way.
Oh, did I?
Microphone muted. Microphone
Did I not press
activated.
microphone muted?
You did. You're muted on TeamSpeak, but your voice still came through.
Oh, of course that's on TV.
I could even hear the TeamSpeak beeps telling you that, like,
So, of course it's still
picking up.
still on the stream.
Yeah.
It doesn't mute it on the stream. Oh, there's nothing exciting. Where's the keys? He's got heels. So yeah, is it? But yeah, you want, despite the fact you know it's not a good buy, you still want maximum price to performance.
Yeah. Well, no, price got nothing
Sorry,
to do with
maximum
it.
performance,
It's
period.
maximum performance, yeah.
Let me work my magic.
I guess, yeah.
It's definitely not good for price, yeah.
No, that's it. Like, you know, when I first was thinking this, it was kind of like if I buy one, I have to buy the other kind of thing. I felt like if I'm going to increase, you know, go up by another 25% in terms of pixel count, more than double, 2.5 times almost the maximum refresh rate. So that kind of thing needs that kind of performance. But then I kind of thought, well, yes, technically it does, but you know, a 3080 is no slouch.
You will regret this.
And you know, if it comes in a couple of years' time, 2 years' time, you know, that there are VRAM bottlenecks, or there are, you know, there is a significant shift, and they do release a 20 gigabyte TI edition in a
like the
year's time.
38 should be good enough holdover for
A couple of years.
yeah,
You know,
however long it takes for a more affordable card with more VRAM to
Yeah.
short.
So might as well just wait. Because you know, again, you know, the depreciation on that 3090 is going to be huge, whereas you know, because it's 1400, whereas something that's only,
Yeah, it'll be just like the 2080. Yeah.
yeah, whereas the TI, you know, it'll yes, it'll depreciate the 3090, but it will, you know, it might only drop by £200-300 as opposed to £600. But you know, each of them.
Yeah, you can look at like the supers are going for now. I imagine it's obviously not going to be as much of a loss as what
Yes.
2080 Is are selling for now.
Because, yeah, the 20 Ti was, yeah, not quite the same difference in terms of the price, but yeah, you know, there was a huge gap in terms of there was a big gap, and there wasn't a lot of performance out of it. It wasn't as big as what is it, £800 that is this time, £700, £750. It's not £750 delta, but it was what, £400 or something, wasn't it? £400 or £500.
I do think the 3090 is better valued than the 2080 Ti though. 2080 Ti is
Yes.
just horrible.
In terms of, yeah, in terms of like,
just because it's got so much VRAM, which the 2080 Ti doesn't even have.
yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's more like the fact that the 2080 Ti was literally just two 1080 banged together for double the price. That was kind of the problem. It was literally just the same,
Alright.
the same card 2 years later, but just mashed. It's like a 30. It was like a 90 edition, but you know, it's
Yeah, like 3090 compared to Touring isn't bad value. It's just bad value when you compare it to the rest of the Ampere stack.
if they'd announced the 3090.
But that's because Touring was just very
Yeah.
poor value.
The 3090 compared to a 2080 Ti, yeah, is a lot better value for money.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to the rest of the stack, because of how far they brought the prices down now, you know, yeah, I mean, yeah, literally they've reduced.
I mean, they
they've
had to
increased
though.
the
Like,
co-
no
they've
one
increased the
should
cost
sing
of the-
Nvidia's praises for the price reduction. Because if these came out at like Touring like prices, like if the 3080 was priced like a 2080 Ti, and the 3090 was priced like the Titan RTX, then they would have got destroyed. Because yeah, like the consoles and
Yes.
the 3080 are just way cheaper.
They had, yeah, but that's you know, the gap has literally widened. The cost of the second tier has gone down. The cost of the first tier has gone up. As in, you know, the highest end card.
Yeah.
Of
It
the
just
Ampere.
depends how you place 3090.
So
It's like something in between a TI and a Titan. It's not quite either.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, admittedly, yeah, it's not just a Ti version. You know, it's got 2.5 times the VRAM,
Yeah.
but it's also
So if you think of it as like something in between those price points of the RTX Titan and the 2080 Ti, then it's also like less
Yes.
than it should.
the problem is, of course, is that there is no 3080 Ti.
Yeah, there isn't a Titan.
There is no middle ground. You know, that's the problem. There is no £1,000 version. There's a 650 or a 1400.
Well, I mean, it is just £200 more for a lot more VRAM.
compared to the Ti, but I'm saying compared.
All
to,
right, but you're saying if a Ti came out with reduced prices as opposed to like the same price as
yeah, I don't think
Touring
a Ti would cost 1200.
yeah,
So based on current,
given the rest of the stack,
given the
that's
rest
true.
of the stack, yeah. So it would probably come out as a
Yeah, because it would be very poor value then. Because yeah, you might as well just get a 90 then. If like a Ti also just had like 11 gigabytes or whatever, like
yeah.
no one would be buying that. Yeah, it would make sense.
So it'd have to come out around the sort of £1,000
Yeah.
mark.
It would either need a lot more VRAM, so like that rumored 20 gig version,
Yeah.
and then it could be justified. Like you're only losing 4 gigabytes of VRAM for savings of £200.
But I don't think.
Or if it's only like 12 gigs of VRAM, then it would need to be just slightly more expensive than the 3080. Yeah, I do think if that 20 gig version materializes, it will be closer in price to a 3090 than the 3080. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it probably comes around the sort of.
It's just because there's not that much leeway in between the 3080 and 90 in terms of like performance, so the cost just comes down to VRAM.
Yeah.
So if the VRAM is very close to a 3090, then the price has to be too.
Yes, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Because you know the 3080 and 3090 are both on the same die. The 3080 is just more limited.
Yeah, obviously. It's about 20% there.
Yeah. And whereas last gen, the 2080 wasn't on the same die as the 2080. Yeah, so this 3080 is definitely cut above like the previous 80 series, which is why Nvidia says it's the flagship card. But the 80 card itself is more than just like a normal 80. It's sort of like in between an 80 and an 80 Ti. And the 90 is in between the Ti and the Ti. Now, what do you think of the Xbox news? We got release date, we got prices.
It's pretty interesting. I wonder what the difference is going to be between the Xbox Series S and the Xbox.
Well, you can look at the specs. Everything's up.
The Xbox Series S and the Xbox One X in terms of like longevity.
All right. Well, obviously, the Series S is better because One X isn't going to get next-gen games. Whereas Series X will be getting, you know, Xbox Series games for its lifetime.
But surely they're going to be at like it's about the same
Yeah, they're similar. If anything, the Series S might be weaker. Like they're better at different things. The GPU on the One X is actually stronger than the Series S, but the CPU and the storage are better on the Series S.
So I wonder whether it gives a certain extra longevity to the older Xboxes if they're still having to make games that are compatible with the S.
Only for cross-platform. Oh, what you're saying is, no, I don't see that happening. The thing is, if they release an Xbox One game, it has to be compatible with the base Xbox One from 2013. So that's what will hold the Xbox One back. I mean, the Xbox One X.
Do they not?
Like they can't make a game that only works with the Xbox One X, but not the Xbox One, because they promised that would never happen.
Oh well.
So I think that's why, yeah, because I see what you mean. Like, given that they're close in performance, they could probably support the Xbox One X for most of the Series X lifetime. Yeah. But yeah, I think it won't happen because of that promise that if a game runs on Xbox One X, it has to run on the base Xbox One, and that would obviously limit them severely if they still have to make games work on that terrible console.
They're not Facebook, eh?
Is it cold in the shadows?
Must have seen what Facebook did.
Well, with the Oculus, yeah. I don't see it as a big deal though. You can just make a burner account.
No, but it's literally the head.
Like my only Facebook account is just a burner account that I made to play Facebook.
Technically, but it's against Facebook terms and conditions.
Yeah. I mean, it's a dodgy thing. I just like if I was an Oculus owner, I wouldn't care in practice.
No, but it's also the fact that literally the head of Oculus, or whatever, promised, you know, literally this was never going to happen, and people.
Yeah, I saw. No, but
it's quite funny.
The thing is, he wasn't talking with any authority, so if people believed him, that's kind of their fault.
No, he was
because this is after he already sold the company to Facebook, so he's not in charge anymore. Or I mean, he wasn't when he made that statement.
No, but I'm saying he was told that by Facebook, and you've seen his what he said afterwards and things. You know, like literally, this is what Facebook told me, and
Oh, okay. I don't think I read that message. I just read the declaration from him saying that it wouldn't happen. But...
Yeah, but obviously people have gone back and looked at that, and he's actually addressed it directly.
What now?
Yeah.
Oh, what did he say? Oh, this is what he said now.
Yeah.
Facebook had told him this at the time.
Yeah.
I see.
So he'd obviously put those statements.
Yeah, because he's not even with Facebook now, right? He left them like a while ago.
I don't know, but yeah, obviously he put the statements out when they got bought, and now he's explained that. Literally, they told me this was.
So he'd actually been given assurances. Yes. He wasn't just like guessing by himself.
No, yeah, he'd been given assurances, and he was like, the community obviously had less faith than I did, and they were right to.
Right. Ooh.
Because they were talking about it on the WAN show, and they were speculating that literally Facebook have taken this decision, expecting like potential class action lawsuits, and have determined that it's worth it. That VR, do it now before it gets any bigger, kind of thing. You know, take the loss. You know, almost like a calculated risk as part of this is, you know, as part of this decision, because how much data they can get out of you now with this new policy. That it's actually,
What kind of data? You're just playing VR games.
I can't, but it links to your Facebook account, so I can't remember exactly what they were talking about. But you know,
I don't know.
This data is then open to advertisers to be able to, you know, selectively advertise for certain things. I can't remember what they said exactly, but you know, and so that it's worth doing it now before it gets too late, kind of thing. You know, if they're going to do it, might as well do it sooner rather than later. And so they're sort of taking that sort of risk of litigation and of class action lawsuits, and sort of factoring that cost in almost. Because it just feels rather wrong that they promise something and then literally just 2 years later, or whatever it is, 5 years later, just turn it back and go, yep, sod you.
Yeah.
You're in my hands now.
We want all your data. Haha, that one failed. Because they haven't got the minions.
Time runs out on me.
He's destroying his own minions.
But yeah, another thing that sets Series S and Xbox One X apart is Xbox One X aims at like 4K and high resolutions, whereas Series X won't. I don't think like Series S will be running any 4K games.
No, I don't know. Yeah, it would even have
Because Series X is the console.
I'm sure the Series
aimed
S
at 4K.
would support 4K in some form. But
Yeah, but like the games won't run at 4K.
'cause, I mean, just for like 4K.
It doesn't have the horsepower, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, they can get away with like running games at 1080p. So it's different from before, where
Let me work my magic.
like where the high resolution was say 1080p or 1440p, and like no one would be buying a low resolution version because that low resolution is really bad. Well, like 480p.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas now, like the low resolution being 1080p,
Most
yeah, it's
people
not that bad
most
for
people
budget
still
games.
have
Yeah.
1080p displays.
Exactly.
1080p.
You're
Something
in
wrong.
my
So yeah, they're not.
But the performance difference between pushing 4K and 1080p allows them to like
You're
uh,
in my hands now.
present a lot of savings to the customer, yeah,
Hmm.
with the cheaper version.
If you don't need or want or care about 4K gaming, go buy
Yeah.
this one.
Is it cold in the shadows?
It's like free man.
Even then, though, I do think the Xbox Series X is better value than the S. Because it's only 200 more, and yeah, the performance is more like the performance difference between the two consoles. I think is bigger than the cost difference is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, like the SX is better value for money than the
I
SS,
think it's 12 terabytes, is it, or something from the,
something like that.
and it's 4 from. So yeah.
Nothing but a bunch of big bad.
Yeah, UK pricing, they're both £50 less than the dollar.
Equivalents.
So it's 249 for the S, and it's 449 for the X.
My hand is too full.
Be interesting to see what the PlayStation's pricing comes out when it's revealed.
Well, that makes the Series X worse value in the UK compared to the US. Because it's $200 price difference, but here we pay £200 more.
Yeah.
This is like for like, so I get ripped off.
Yay.
You're in my hands.
Whereas like Nvidia actually adjusted. It wasn't just a flat like same figure,
Yeah.
less. Yeah.
I mean, it's a bigger
Like the
delta.
70 is only I don't know, like £30 less, and then it's like £50 less for the 80, and then it's like 100 less for the 90 or something.
Yeah.
My eyes.
It's a better attempt than Microsoft. But they're both 50 less.
Yeah. So, I mean, things are always more expensive in the UK.
What's that?
Things are always more expensive in the UK.
Yeah, that's the big expensive.
That's because, of course, they don't put tax on the Americans when they reveal the prices
Yeah, he told me about it.
at all.
But they still get it cheaper even with the tax.
Yes, but that's because we don't pay for our healthcare. As in,
Yeah.
we pay for your own taxation. That's why
That
our
helps.
taxes are higher.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to live in the States. Not worth the cheaper hardware bits.
No, you'd be putting it in your health insurance. I mean, I remember reading an article like, a couple of years ago about how much insulin costs. You know, I need to live, and which diabetics need to live, and you know, and people are literally like mortgaging their houses and selling their possessions to stay alive.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford it. Because they charge ridiculous sums of money for this stuff. Because literally, you know, it's your life. If you don't have it, you'll die. So it's, yeah, crazy. But yeah, thank God I don't have to deal with that.
When's this hostile torture over?
Probably doesn't kill me yet, he seems taking his sweet ass time over it.
But you just concede and get your quest progress. It's already past 10-10. I'm pretty sure it's safe to concede.
I swear I don't understand why all his casting hasn't triggered the...
You're never winning here, mate. You know that, right? Just concede. I'm 100% sure you'll get your quest progress. And he hasn't triggered a pressure plate because he's not playing spells, dude. He's playing Tortolan, whatever it's called. That's the battle cry. That's casting the spells. Instead of the spells directly being cast.
Not as much of a...
Well, not that would do much for you here. Or kill 1-1.
1 less 1-1 to deal with.
Seriously, just concede. You're just wasting time. You're not winning this game, and you'll get your quest progress for playing a game. I don't know what turn you have to get to before it lets you do it, but I'm certain by turn 10 you can concede. And this is well past turn 10. There you go.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's another one of the horrible decks that are in the meta right now that you fought against there, Turtle
I've
Mage.
seen it a few times.
You can put all sorts of win conditions in it. Like, the win condition doesn't really matter. It's just endless board freezes. Just lock your opponent up.
Make him power.
And the wild version runs endless icebox as well, so yeah.
Nice.
And this is all because they printed Potion of Illusion.
Mm.
Like Tortolan Pilgrim was a balanced card before they printed this. But they'll probably nerf Tortolan Pilgrim instead of nerfing Potion of Illusion. Like they always do.
Even
they release a broken card and then they release older cards that were like fine before the broken card came out.
Well, like, they've released a balanced patch today, and like half the cards, like all the cards on there, I like hardly ever seen any of them.
Well, they weren't all nerfs. Half of them were buffs. That's why I hadn't seen them.
But yeah, like none of them tackled the big problems that we've been seeing. So what is this?
I don't know. I think the cards they nerfed were good nerfs. It's just maybe they should have nerfed more cards.
Potion of Illusion, I want 1/1 copies. Half minions in your hand, they cost 1.
And one of the nerfs was even enough to a standard card that was aimed at Wild, which is the first time that's happened, I think.
Oh,
I'm talking about Dark Lair, the Waller card. It's not a problem at all in standard, so I'm 100% sure they nerfed this because of how OP it is in Wild. It's the top deck in Wild. But before, when the deck was OP in Wild because of a standard card, they hadn't nerfed the standard card. Namely, like when Psych Melon was printed, and that made Druid ridiculous with like Aviana combos because you could like
tutor them so easily.
Yeah, exactly. Tutors Aviana Coon and whatever. It was mostly around with the 7/7. I forgot its name.
The one that drops the cost of
no, not that one. No, that is Aviana that makes all your minions cost 1.
No, there's the one that made a card cost really cheap or something, wasn't there?
No, it's called Starliner. And if you had a battle cry, if you had like 3 minions with 7 health on the board, deal 7 to all enemies. Yeah. So that was the most common combo. So you play Aviana and Coon, of course, and then you've got 10 mana and all your minions cost 1. And then you play Bran, and then you play Starliner. And Coon also has 7 health. Oh yeah, you need to play that one other minion that has 7 health. And then you play double Starliner. And they both deal 14 damage to all enemies. But it's not quite an OTK, but you deal 28 damage to all enemies, so you wipe out their board, even if they have death rattles. And yeah, they're on 2 health. Or dead if you manage to get some chip damage in before that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but they never nerfed Cycmelon. Instead, they nerfed Aviana, which ruined it.
Yeah.
Because Aviana at 9, because the way Cycmelon works, of course, it draws 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you're pre-nerf, you were drawing minions at every mana cost. But now you got 2 10 drops, so you can't draw both Aviana and Kun from it. You'll only draw one of them. And now the nine mana slot is empty, so yeah, it ruined the deck. And you also need to now run like Innovate or something to have enough mana to play Kun, after you play Aviana. Yes, so I guess it was harder this time though, like thinking of the Wild Dark Lair deck. I'm not sure what wild cards they could nerf to bring it down in power level. Because a lot of that deck, I think over half of it is just standard cards.
So I guess if it didn't see much playing standard anyway, it wasn't much of a problem just making it.
Yeah, it's because Wild is Molten Giants. That's a big help.
What cards did they nerf? Do you know?
Yeah, they nerfed Dark Lair, they
Dark
nerfed
Lair.
Cabal Acolyte, they reduced itself by 2.
I did see a few standard decks around Dark Lair.
Yeah, it was in standard, but pretty rare, and it wasn't oppressive. Like they wouldn't nerf it if we were just looking at standard.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But in Wild, it was very strong. Oh yeah, the other reason why it's really good in Wild is because Wild has got a lot more ways to deal damage to yourself. Like very cheap, like for 1 mana, and only deal 1 damage, because you don't want to deal a lot of damage to your face, because you only need to deal damage. It doesn't specify like a health amount, right?
No.
To cheat the effect. So doing it with 1 mana cards lets you cheat mana, because you spend 1 mana to gain 2 mana while Dark Lair's on the board. So yeah, so effectively these cards are like -1 mana. Yeah, so you're able to generate a board of giants very early on in the game, like on turn 3. You could have like giants and Loatheb down as well. So
So the spells don't work easily against them over, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So it was capable of just creating like locked lethal states as early as turn 3. Yeah.
Wow.
Whereas in standard there's no Molten Giants and there's no Loatheb and there aren't as many cheap activators that deal damage to yourself. That's why it was so oppressive in Wild, not so much in standard. Yeah, just you have the Flesh Giants in standard, but yeah, it's not quite enough top end. But Molten Giants get you there. And in standard they did print that card, I forget its name, the 2 mana one that's like a mini Loatheb that makes spells cost 1 more mana. Yeah, but it's not quite as strong as Loatheb making them cost 5 more.
No. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. That means it's retiring from Hearthstone again. Or are you just gonna take it slow?
I don't know.
Go back to whenever it's.
I mean, when I get back on my computer, I don't see myself playing much Hearthstone. It's just because it's convenient when you just got low powered laptop. Gonna do some Overwatch.
Nah.
Oh.
Done loads of Overwatch and tired anyway.
What's that?
Tired. I've done loads of Overwatch.
Yeah, but it's fun. There's no Jamal to drag you down at them. Been playing a lot with Jamal recently.
Yeah. Go into a power spike.
What about Ori? Have you tried it on your desktop?
No. I don't have it downloaded anyway.
Yeah, you can download it quick. It's like 2 gigs. What do you think of the EA news?
Pretty big. Oh yeah, do we know when to? I was like, I wonder I don't have that because Tom's got it. I was like, I don't remember owning Halo. That's because Tom has it.
What?
It's like I don't remember owning Halo. That's because Tom's bought it.
On Steam?
On Steam, yeah.
Yeah, well, you do have access to it on Game Pass, of course.
Did they give a date for when this is all happening?
I didn't look into that.
I haven't looked it up.
I'm not actually sure if it is the premium version. Either way, it's obviously
I think it is.
really
I think
good.
I did have a quick look. I think it did mention them.
If it is premium, yeah, that's just absolute bonkers. Because premium by itself is what, 11, 12 pounds a month? I can't remember. Oh, however much it is for a year, it's less than that.
Yeah, I can't remember now. EA Access, I think it was £4 a month for the basic version. It's now called EA Play anyway, they've rebranded it.
Yeah, they rebranded it now. Is it still two-tiered system though?
Yeah, EA Play and EA Play Pro. That's the US site.
Right.
Why is that the US site? It's $14 or $15 a month, so it's not cheap.
Well, this only mentions EA Play, so I don't think it's the Pro version.
It's £14 a month for the Pro version.
Oh, I wonder if that's gone up in price.
Or it's £90 a year. That's what I was thinking. That sounds like a lot. £150. I swear it was cheaper than that. It's £90 you buy in bulk for a year. So
Yeah, there's a discount for a year.
Yeah,
That's same as before.
So it just sounded about right.
Well, what's the cheaper version for a year?
£20 a year.
Right. So it's extra £20 of value a year added to Game Pass, or however much it is per month.
EA's Play Library. Yeah, I think it's just.
You still get access to like the, what do you call the year before the current year?
Yeah, EA Play costs £5 a month, so it's the cheaper version, which makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that much, but £20 a year.
Yeah, it would be insane if it was
Yeah.
the premium one. My bad, I misled you.
Well, I had a brief read at work, and I thought it said it. I forget that because it talked about like FIFA and stuff. Obviously, it's talking about historic FIFA, not current FIFA.
Yeah.
You can play like the previous year's FIFA.
But
yeah,
you,
also
you do
10
get
hours.
like limited time with the
Yeah,
new games.
10 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get full access to the ones from like the previous year. Like I think FIFA 20 is already on there. At least that's what the advertiser mentioned. Even though 21 isn't out yet, right?
Yeah.
So or something, I don't know.
I don't know. Is 20 in there? I don't know actually.
Yeah.
I know eventually they moved down.
You still get access to most of the catalog. You just don't get to play it. So you might have to wait like a year or so, or maybe less than a year, to play the latest games. Yeah. Well, that's the only advantage of premium, otherwise.
Yeah, FIFA 19, not FIFA 20.
Yeah. Wait, 20's not on there yet?
Not yet, because
Oh,
it's
okay.
still the latest version, so probably not.
Oh. Because they definitely mentioned 20 as like being fully playable as part of this deal.
Maybe when it comes out. Cause
Yeah, I suppose. Because 21 must be coming out soon.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Should be out this month actually, right? Usually comes out in September.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is on there. Oh, why does it put it in the Pro? I guess because it's also Pro technically. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, so it is available right now.
It is. It is EA Play. Yeah, I think it is. Well, I don't know. It's a bit confusing. I should load up Origin itself.
Yeah.
Where's Origin? Oh, we're not even got Origin installed now. It's not used it.
Yeah. Basically, though, we will get access to the full EA catalog, but the newest games like take it around a year before they show up. Yeah. But otherwise, I don't believe there's any games that aren't in the base EA Play that are like older than a year. Like they don't like hold any back for premium for some reason. Yeah.
No, yeah. Fly the remastered of Burnout.
I think there might even be like brand new games that go immediately on on the base one as well. Like the smaller indie titles, like Unravel 2. I think that was on the cheaper one right away. Yeah. It's only the bigger like AAA titles, like the Recycle Sports games, that spend like less than a year on premium first.
Yeah.
I wonder if is Jedi Fallen Order already on EA
No,
Play?
No.
Okay, no, it hasn't been a year yet.
Battlefront 2 is, but not Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
I know Anthem's on EA Play. And yeah, like all BioWare games right now
Yeah.
are on EA Play.
Not Sea of Solitaire is no. Need for Speed. Command and Conquer.
Wait, Rocket Arena. What's that?
This is Pro, by the way.
Alright. Wait, is the Command and Conquer remake on the base EA Play? Or is it Pro?
No, I think it's Pro only, I think.
That's a pretty cheap game though.
Yeah, Rocket Arena is. Need for Speed. FIFA 20, Madden 20, how do you say that?
Yeah.
Anthem. I used to wonder why it was called Madden.
I don't know.
I know, I mean, it's named after John Madden, who was a coach or something. He like pioneered the whole X. If you've seen like the X crosses like maps of like where like players go next kind of thing. The whole like because it's from a song spoofed Squiggles like John Madden. So it's obviously where the name came from. So it's like he pioneered the whole like tacticals, I guess, of modern day American football or something.
Cool.
His coaching career.
I don't care enough to know more.
Oh, maybe he didn't pioneer the Squiggle. Maybe he was just a really good coach. it's like
I'm not interested in American football at all.
It's like Tiger Woods, like having the golf game named after Tiger Woods, but slightly more subtle because it's actually say Tiger Woods or John Madden. I don't know. Like, I don't mind American football. I think it's just the problem is it's Americanized, and so you take forever to do everything. That's the problem I have with it. Like, if they didn't spend so much time on adverts and take so long over, 4 hours over or 3 hours over a 1 hour game, it would be a lot more interesting to watch.
Hey Adam, so you're gonna get one of the 4-slot cards then to get value from your giant case.
No, well, I'm planning to downsize it anyway. And
I wouldn't downsize it too much.
I doubt. Well, no, I'm not going to go micro ITX or anything. But something that's
but you should get one of the 4-slot cards, so you can claim to have the biggest ever graphics card.
Are they actually doing 4 slots 3080s?
I think so, yeah. I think it's 80s and 90s. I could be mistaken, but I think I read. Because from what I've seen so far, like all the 80s and 90s look the same in terms of board partners.
I thought most of them.
If anything, you know the Founders Editions are among the smaller models. like yeah, because the 80s are like bigger than the 90 for board partners, and the Aorus, this one. This is one of the 4-slot cards. See, it's for the 80 as well. Yeah, see, it's the same cooling system for either card.
This looks what?
Whereas Nvidia's Founders Edition cards made an effort to like get as small as possible for each power tier. Yeah, like the 3070 is tiny compared to the board partner 3070s. I sent you that picture on WhatsApp that shows like the Founders Editions in size.
It just looks so stupid. It looks like some.
Yeah, like this has to come with a support bracket, like a good one. Otherwise, it'll like sag the motherboard. 4-slot card, it's insane.
This is well, if you mix the use of it, you get a nice temperature monitor.
Yeah.
I have Gigabyte now.
I mean,
I did.
I don't think a massive size is a bad thing. If you got space for it, it's better. It means better cooling. That's how air cooling works. Like if you want better air cooling, it needs to get bigger.
I mean, it's got.
That's why CPU air coolers are massive in size.
3 display ports and 3 HDMI ports as well.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
I think you can't use all 6 at once.
I don't think there's any other version that offers as many ports.
Yeah, that you can use them all at once. There must be a limit.
I don't know. Yeah, like who needs that many ports? Especially if you can't use them all at once.
Yeah, it's flex, isn't it? So you can have, depending on whether you're using display or HDMI. That's the point. It's not a bad thing, particularly they've got so much space on the back, they must well use it. But presumably you're limited to 4 at once, I think is often the limit.
Yeah, so you should get this 3080.
I'll get whatever I can get my hands on.
There's another manufacturer that's also got a 4-slot one. I can't remember who it was though.
Is it MSI? I have to say I saw this. I thought it was a glitch in the video in the picture. It did look. I think it was actually even seeing this, but it did look ridiculous. Like, I think it's one of the MSI cards. Yeah, I think it was this one that looks like this, but it was one that looked ridiculous, but I think they fixed it then. Honestly, it was a 3080 there, and I swear all the pictures on here have shown them being 2 or 2.5 slot designed. I haven't seen anything that's like. Yeah, I think they fixed it.
There's another reason to go water cooling if you don't want things to take up a lot of space. I don't think there's any water cooled cards that are more than like 2 slots.
No.
Man, EVGA's cards are so ugly this generation though. Are there any other manufacturers that make water-cooled cards that go into loops, custom loops? Because all the other water-cooled cards I've seen, they're all AIO.
I don't know. I mean, you can have a look at TIs and see what if there's any left.
I don't know.
OC Tech.
Like there are pretty water-cooled cards, but yeah, dude, this is 20 Ti. It doesn't matter. Like they don't have the same design for the Ampere series.
No, but
they changed the design.
Yeah, but if they make one for the OTech Lab, if they make one for the 2080 Ti, they're probably gonna make one for the 2090, 3090, aren't they?
Oh, that's from Overclockers. I didn't notice. My bad. I thought this was the EVGA card because it says it in the name.
It's Overclockers Tech Lab version.
I see. So they just install a water block on it and sell it. Yeah.
I don't know. 1,000. Not cheap.
There's no guarantee they'll do that again.
No, it's no guarantee, but give you some idea.
This product is available soon. What? That's a lie. that's never going to be available again. They stopped making them months ago.
Yeah, the EVGA one.
Yeah,
Gigabyte do one.
Oh, nice.
I know that's obviously hybrid. You can obviously buy them and put them on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Obviously, yeah, it's more your warranty, I suspect.
I think that's a step too far for me, having to install my own water block.
That's the Zotac one, apparently. That's pretty edgy.
No, it's not too bad then. There's more options than just EVG. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
It depends, obviously, how long you want to wait, because I expect they're not.
These cards are usually among the last to come out.
Yes, they're not rush them off the shelves.
Yeah, and like the all-in-one ones come out earlier than that, or the hybrids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's still better than air cooling, but it's not as good as going full custom loop.
It's interesting that the Kingpin one's going to be a hybrid.
Yeah, I mean that was the case from the 20 series. So.
I know your 10 series was.
10 series was just on air.
Slab of copper, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I had. Yeah, see, the Kingpin looks nice, but yeah, it just comes with an all-in-one, so it's a shame.
It's also going to be bloody expensive.
Like, why can't they sell you a version of this that doesn't come, hooked up to radiator? They can just put in a water cooling loop.
I mean, I feel like they...
And there's another one from a Chinese manufacturer, Colorful. It looks really nice, but it is also an all-in-one.
Well, all-in-ones are probably more popular.
Yeah, because they're easier to install. I mean, they're slightly harder than just an air-cooled card, just because you have to install the radiator somewhere. But yeah.
It's slightly more risky as well.
No, there's no risk, man.
Well, the risk it leaks.
Yeah, but it won't, like, unless what? Well, how would it leak? Like, you stab in it or something?
No, well, Tom's CPU based, but AIO leaks.
I don't know. He bought some shitty low quality one.
Well, anything. I mean, put fluid in it. Fluid is corrosive, and
Okay.
It's a liquid in a pipe. Pipes burst.
I mean, anything can break.
Yes.
It's not just liquid cooling stuff.
But clearly, there is inherently a greater risk, even if you consider it minor.
Sure.
Because what's the worst that air cooler is going to do? The fan will break and it will overheat and then it will shut down. You'll know that. If it leaks, it can easily damage it and make it irreplaceable. That's happened with Tom's motherboard. But yes, I'm sure, generally speaking, they don't all break down with normal buying.
I mean, we were talking about why all-in-ones are more popular than, ones that aren't attached to radiant. So risk has got nothing to do with it. If anything, the all-in-one is less risky than the alternative, where you have to build your own.
Relative to air, I was going.
Yeah, but I mean, air wasn't even like part of the question here.
It became part of the question. I made it part of the question. Yeah, it is a bit weird looking there. The water cool one, isn't it? I wonder
this is the upcoming.
Are they RGB or is it just one color?
I don't know, but they're also hideous, man. And that red strip, I think that's permanent.
I mean, not that you'd see it because it's flat.
What's that?
I said not that you'd see it because it's obviously that's pointing down. And
No, it depends how you put it in the case.
oh, yeah, obviously you can buy side-mounted ones.
Yeah, what is it called? The vertical thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot all the terms.
Is there actual word for it? I don't know.
Yeah, there is,
Just
and
vertical
there's
mounting,
the
I
word
thought.
for what they use as well to mount it.
I wonder if I should buy one of those for my new case. I didn't think about it until now.
Yeah,
No,
it's pretty popular these days
yeah,
because
I know.
SLI died.
Yeah.
So it just like lets you make use of that space that would otherwise just be empty.
Makes it look cool.
Yeah, and it's just more aesthetically pleasing because a lot of the like design goes into the front of the GPU that's usually just facing downwards and you don't see it. But this way it's like it's prominent. Yeah, obviously I don't believe this affects performance at all. If anything, for water cooled, I mean for air cooled cards, wouldn't it make performance worse?
Yeah, I'd say it probably makes performance worse because there's probably often there are fans or vents below, but if you're pointing it right at tempered glass, then it's not going to actually improve cooling.
With water cooled cards though, you don't lose anything, of course.
No.
So it's best done with water cooled cards, or if you go for like a all in one, as long as it's not just reliant on air cooling alone.
Vertical mount, why not to use them? Because they're not so good. But I suspect they're expensive for cases.
That's probably they got an air cooled card there, so it'll probably be something to do with airflow.
BB cases that support vertical mount.
Speaking of which, for your next case, make sure you don't just have like the front of the case covered up, like closed off with like tempered glass or something. Like that's just bad design. You want a mesh front. So because that's where the intake fans are.
Yeah, I mean.
So the front needs to be very breathable.
You can have obviously.
Have you considered going for an open case? By the way, there's several that you can get online.
I know there are, and there's that one obviously that Linus did in that crazy build that was so weird. It was such a weird looking case.
Oh right, that insanely priced one, yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's more reasonable ones.
Yeah, there's what? Where was it? Oh, it was such a.
Because obviously that gives you the best airflow, and you minimize, not having stuff surrounding your components.
No. Where was I looking? Was it eBuyer?
It's also quieter and saves you money, because you don't need case fans, because it's just all open. Obviously.
It saves you money, yeah, but not if the case costs more.
Right, but it saves you money and not needing to buy fans, and it's quieter because you have less fans. I think the loss of those fans makes up for the extra noise that's generated by the case being open.
Components, towers, all computer cases.
And it also looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this one. Have you seen this one? Look at
It's
this.
got to be worse for dust, though, right? Because you don't have anything like any filters.
I mean, it's not exactly discreet, is it?
Is this the one you're going for, Ed?
No, I just remember when I was.
This looks
browsing,
like a terrible case from a function standpoint, both for built-in and like
you slide it
for
out.
performance.
You can slide it out. It slides in the bulk. It slides in.
Yeah, but all I'm seeing is like a lot of plastic and glass, so this is not good for airflow.
No, it just looks.
Where's the air coming from in the front there? It's just all glass. It's just closed off.
I don't know. It's also
Like,
really expensive.
isn't that glass in front of that fan? The bottom. That's just
I have
ridiculous.
no
Like,
idea.
there's no air coming in anyway.
Eye-catching design. I mean, it certainly catches your eye. Also, probably burns it. I think, God, I mean, it's just like it's not.
So, if you go for a case, just make sure that there's a lot of like open mesh panels
Maybe for a while anyway, not until the new Ryzen comes out.
to increase breathability.
No.
Yeah,
It's
like
basically-
so tempered glass is pretty bad for function, even if it looks cool.
Yeah, but you can put it on the side's alright.
Yeah, you can get away with it on sides. Just make sure it's not on the front.
This is open case design.
Yeah, see, like that's pretty good. Yeah, see, it's fucking cheap as well. So you can't tell me this is more expensive than
Depends on what you
yeah,
define
the
as
case.
cheap. I mean, 100 quid isn't cheap.
I'm comparing it to premium cases. Like the only cases you get at this price is budget cases, ones that aren't open frame. I think this is the very one I was looking at today, actually, or maybe they all just look like this.
Side-mounted GPU. Oh, they all side.
But you're still getting two sides here. It's just the other four are open.
Do you side mount the? Do you side mount the? No, you don't side mount the board. Like you side mount the board on that one, but no.
Yeah, my biggest concern with open cases is dust.
I say yeah, it's really very dusty. This thing.
Yeah, I don't know. At the same time, though, better airflow should mean less dust, and it's easier to like clean as well.
You got to build it yourself. Well, they're just showing you how you can dismantle it, I guess. It's pretty.
You got your tempered glass side as well,
Yeah, I do.
and then everything else is max breathability.
It does feel a bit cheap. Yeah, plastic. Yeah.
What's that?
I said my plastic does feel a bit cheap.
Oh, what
Giant
your current case? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Well, it's got a giant sheet of plastic on the side for its glass for its window.
Oh, it doesn't use tempered glass. I see.
Well, it was 2015. It was before tempered glass was really a thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it cost £200 this case, but it was certainly plastic based.
Oh wow, you got ripped off. I guess it's pretty big.
Yeah, well, it was 20. Like I say, it was 2015. It was
Yeah, it wouldn't command that price with the plastic side today, I think.
Yeah, it was just before tempered glass craze kicked off, really.
Yeah.
Well, technically,
And it's before the LED craze went into full effect.
I don't know. It was still pretty big. I mean, I did buy my LED light strip. But it's too new.
Yeah, you had to buy that yourself. These days, like
Well, no,
the cases come with loads of
it
LEDs.
does have an LED strip on it. Well, though it's not RGB, it's only blue. You can turn it off. The problem is I always get nervous. I'm going to press the wrong button and press the reset switch. Not that I ever turn it off anyway.
Yeah, my case is horribly outdated now in everything, like looks, function, design. Yeah, I realize it's not a very good case at all. Like, it really stifles airflow. At least it does have a little mesh panel at the front where that little intake fan is at the bottom. It does have a mesh front, but otherwise it's just hard plastic everywhere.
Haven't you got two?
And it's such a pain in the ass as well because you have to unscrew 3 screws to just open the side panel, and obviously it's completely opaque. Whereas these days you got these tempered glass side panels that you don't need to screw; they just open like a door. Yeah, so it's very convenient. Looks pretty.
No, yeah, mine's like.
Yeah, I think my next case I'd be looking for something like that with tempered glass side panels that you can open easily, or going with that like open case one or one similar to it.
Mid tower or full tower.
Yeah. I don't know about mid tower. I don't know. I haven't thought about size much.
If you're not having any hard drives.
I don't want to compromise on size too much and then regret it later and need to get a bigger case. You know, it's better to err on the side of caution. Sort of like what you did with your giant case.
I went to, but yeah. Well, I feel like you're not going to put hard drives in it. You're not going to put disk drives in it. You're not going to.
That's true. I guess maybe I don't need that.
SLI is dead. What are you going to possibly put in it to expand it?
Yeah, the only things that would be like chunky graphics cards and going for SSDs on the PCIe slots. Yeah, I don't know. What about network cards? Are they actually good or are they just overhyped garbage? I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
What you mean, wired or wireless?
What? No, there's these network cards that you can put on PCIe slots that are supposed to like improve your internet somehow.
NICs.
What's that?
NICs.
Is that the manufacturer?
No, that's what network attached cards. NIC.
Oh, okay.
NIC.
But yeah, I haven't researched too much.
Never.
So what do they do? All I know is they exist.
Yeah, but
They're
that's
supposed to help.
yeah, that's because most motherboards contain 1 gig network. Some of them contain 2.5 gig. But you know, there's no point buying one unless you're planning to utilize the increased speed locally or something. The reason you buy NICs often is because you want 10 gig, and if your motherboard doesn't support it.
Oh, okay. So you need to have insane internet.
No, it's for local. It's for like taking files off the server.
Oh right. Okay. Never mind.
Unless your internet is so fast it breaches 1 gig per second, which is just
Yeah.
insane. You don't need a NIC.
Like Tom's internet.
Tom is now getting, or his building is getting gigabit Ethernet.
What?
Yeah, kind of gigabit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on
Man,
free.
this guy's so lucky. Wherever he goes,
He's on free,
good
but
internet
he's
follows.
contracted in for like 18 months or something, and he's coming contract. So
Well, can't he upgrade?
he's stuck up. Well, it's a different company. It's not by BT. He's on BT.
Is it Virgin?
No, some I don't know, weird company.
But does he want the 1 gig internet?
Apparently it's not that much. I think it's like 15. Obviously, I'll sort of look at what you've sent me. It's £38 a month
How much was I paying for 250? I can't remember.
Don't know. It's hyper. Oh, I think it's just Hyperfast. It's just I think that's actually the name of the company. I don't know what the company is, but I don't recognise it. Yeah.
I think I was paying £35.
It is a it's a
For like a quarter that speed.
Yeah, it is a an introductory offer. It's £38
Right.
a month for 12 months, and then it's £60 a month after that.
Ooh, 60. That's
Yeah, I mean you are paying for gigabit. You know, it's 1,000
Yeah.
megs. It's not going to be cheap,
I don't think that's worth it, even for me.
but yeah.
But would you buy that £60 a month for 1 gig?
Well, I mean you can obviously have a year's worth of 38, and then you can decide after that whether you want to keep it.
Yeah, I'd buy it at 38, but then I'd have to cancel, I guess.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not something I have to worry about. We're nowhere near that. The highest we get is 60.
Yeah, same here. Don't even have Virgin. Feels bad.
We're not going to get Virgin around here for Yonkers, I suspect. Best chance is 5G or something. And that's probably years away. The government's plan to get everyone on fibre by 2025. Fibre to the
But
fibre to the house.
what about water cooling for you, Adam? Is there any chance you'll go custom loop?
Nah, I don't see the need. I mean, particularly like Linus.
What do you mean? The need is you get extra performance and lower temps, which let you get more performance.
Yeah, but if you really that desperate, just buy a AIO for your graphics card.
AIOs aren't as good. The lowest temps are only on custom loops.
Yeah, but it's just
AIOs are a step above Air, but you can take it a step further, which is custom loops.
yeah, but like Air is better than Air. Air is still the well, I don't know about full AIO.
No, it's not. Air is the worst.
Not for the CPUs.
It's not as good as custom cooling on CPUs.
It's ahead.
It's only comparable to AIOs, and only with the giant ones are. AIOs are way smaller, as are general liquid
Yes,
cooling as well.
it's a lot of hassle cooling via liquid.
We're not talking about hassle. Obviously, it's more hassle. It's just the best performance is custom loop. There's no argument for both CPU and GPU. And AIOs perform better on GPU side as well, and they perform around the same as the best air coolers on the CPU side, while being much smaller and like easier to install. Yeah, if anything, I'd say AIOs are less hassle on the CPU side compared to installing a huge, CPU heatsink with multiple fans.
If you talk about raw performance, they are better, they are quieter, and they are cooler.
Well, you're just comparing them to what? Noctua fans. Again, you're comparing the AIO CPU coolers. Those tests aren't against custom loops. Custom loops will best Noctua coolers.
But you said they are on par, but they're not actually.
Yeah, because the Noctua only have a slight advantage on them. It's not huge. And we're just talking about a single brand here that beats AIO coolers.
Still beats them, irrespective.
Okay, yeah, but there are downsides as well, and not a lot of options. And again, I'm not advocating for AIOs. I'm talking about custom loop, which isn't beaten.
Custom loops are a lot more expensive, a lot more hassle.
It's not that much more expensive. It is more expensive. It is the most expensive for sure, but like it's not that much more. And a lot of it can be reusable, like I mean for future builds, like fittings and radiators and stuff. Like you don't need to change that out. People stay with like the same stuff for like decades.
But still, a block for a GPU is still what, £100 at least.
Yeah. Like I don't think that's too much when the cards already cost like several hundreds. But because the performance gains are like worth that block, I think, in terms of price to performance.
Yeah.
Like you can really overclock far. Like I don't know if you've seen the overclocking you can achieve on custom loops, because the temperatures we're talking like, 30, 40 degrees less than air. So there's a lot of room there to increase performance. You can even up the voltage and stuff. Like there's been people showing with like custom water cooled 2080 Ti's comparing like benchmark performance to 3080s, and the 2080 Ti gets close to the 3080 benchmarks. So yeah, if you go custom water cooling, you're essentially able to get really close to next gen performance with current gen hardware. Like, isn't that worth the extra £100 water block?
With what lag? You've got to buy the radiators and the pipes and the coolant.
Yeah, but that rest of it, you know, you don't need to replace that. It's like a one-time investment. But then that you can stick with those components as long as you get like decent quality ones that don't like break on for future builds. You know, you can keep using the rest of the tubing and cool. Oh, okay, not the coolant, but coolant's not expensive.
Yeah, needs replacing every few years anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really cheap. You don't need like fancy coolant at all. I'm pretty sure you can even use like normal water if it comes down to it. But you need to like replace that more often.
You can, but you should use bacteria.
I need to help my dad with the shopping.
This time of night?
I'll be right back. Yeah.
Late night shopping trip. Building the road. Quanto considera il céu? É 2080 version 10, for example, only. Hey, that's our green screen. What's the IQ? IQ for Mac. Why do you want it for Mac? Have all your gaming peripherals on your Mac, baby. This looks silly. I know I shouldn't laugh. I have a Mac. I'm allowed to laugh. There's no block for your graphics card, no. Oh, I just got to put Gigabyte in. Maybe set a higher there on that. 450 quid. 400, 500 pounds. Jesus Christ. Boom, minus the GPU, that is. Said your Axel. 56 total just for RGB. IQ1 Pro module. Look at his hardline kit, Jesus.
Hello again. Oh, you're going for straight for hardline kit, son.
I was just looking at Corsair's stuff.
Yeah.
550 quid for their kit for hardline.
This is what I'd probably go for.
Corsair. It does seem like the most obvious. They have design.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They help you out a lot because you can design it on their website.
Yeah.
And then just order the parts like made for your build. Just makes the whole process a lot easier.
Something else, their idea is to help the novice who hasn't done it before to.
Do they even like cut the tube into size for you? I'm not sure. I imagine that's something they could do, right? Since they have like all the information on how things are going to get set up.
I suppose I don't know. I think maybe they cut it like approximately because I think, there's still margin of error.
Yeah, that's true.
So they might cut it to approximate sizes and then
with some like leeway.
And then you have a hacksaw to cut the last little couple of inches off that you might need to cut off for yourself.
Makes sense.
But I don't know. Depends. But obviously you can do soft tubing anyway. You don't have to do hardline.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But you still need to cut the soft tubing.
Yes, well, soft tubing.
It's easier to do though.
A lot more flexibility with soft tubing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard tubing is purely for aesthetics. I wouldn't go for it. It does look really good.
Yes.
But yeah, I wouldn't go through that effort.
It's a lot.
Just for looks.
You gotta plan yourself a lot more carefully, and obviously if you want to change anything, it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Both in terms of taking it apart and in terms of might have to rebuild the whole darn thing.
Yeah, I just feel like if I go for air cooling, it'll always be like similar to how I always want like the best performance card. It'd be like I could be getting more performance out of this card if it was on order. Of this CPU or whatever. Like, you won't get max performance unless you're on liquid cooling.
Go for.
And before you mention liquid nitrogen, for like a sustained amount of time.
No, I was gonna go with oil PC building.
That's also not sustainable.
It is sustainable. It's just.
Really?
Yeah. It's just obviously in terms of once you build it, it lasts. It's just that it's difficult to change anything. Very difficult to change anything when you take anything out. Because obviously all the components are covered in oil.
Right.
So,
yeah, I don't know about that, man.
No, I'm not suggesting it in the slightest. And the kits aren't even sold anymore because the manufacturer got sued by the people that own the kits and thing. They had no intention of making them themselves. They wanted the people that were making.
I think you mentioned that before.
Yeah, I have mentioned it before. So they sued them and told them to cease and desist, but they had no intention of actually using the patents themselves.
I imagine there must have been big downsides to it, or it would have taken off.
Well, yeah, it's the fact that you're covering the components in oil, so you have to make sure they're absolutely dry to the bone before you use them outside of the oil once you've taken them out. And obviously if you can't put certain components in there because they'll obviously hard drives you can't and things. It's a time-consuming and delicate process, but the results are stunning. You've ever seen Linus's video on it? It was a few years ago now.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago he did it. Mineral oil PC.
He probably had 3090 performance with his oil PC.
This was, I think it was 780 Ti they had in here. From that era. So it's like a fish tank.
I never saw this. Oh wow, he actually made it like a fish tank.
Yeah, they literally, so there's the 780 in there. You can see how much slower the fans move. Because obviously in oil, it's just obviously quite viscous, thick.
Why are they even? Oh, okay, the fans are there too. So wait, why does oil even need to move?
Well, no, because the fans turn on naturally, don't they? You know, the car turns the fans on, and it obviously helps to move the oil around a bit. Because I mean, there is a pump and there is radiators to cool it, but you know, the car acts like it's anywhere. You know, the car just turns the fan.
I'm just wondering if the fans serve a purpose in a submerged oil build.
Well, I suppose they move the oil a bit, but you know, yeah, obviously it's the oil is there just like a giant water cooler.
But I mean, the oil doesn't need to move. Like eventually, it'll become the same temperature. So, what does moving it achieve?
Well, obviously, the faster you move it, you know, like anything, you know, if the oil doesn't move, the oil around it will just get hot, and you know, obviously it will.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, all that oil is eventually going to be the same temperature.
Not if it
like moving it around might make it take longer. I don't know, to reach that temperature or something, but eventually it'll all be the same temperature.
Yeah, so if you've got a hot spot, then obviously it takes longer to dissipate that heat out, and so you'll have a hot spot. Unless you move the oil around, you'll still end up at a hot spot. You know, clearly a static amount of fluid will take a lot longer to disperse the heat. So you end up with a hot spot and a cold spot as opposed to one that's moving around.
That's true, yeah. I didn't think of that.
Because you're replacing that hot oil right next to the GPU with cold oil that's moving around. Or cooler oil, if not cold oil.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think at some point you'd achieve temperature equilibrium, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would, but you...
Like, there'll always be that hot spot, you know, the GPU generating the heat.
Yeah, but it's just thermodynamics. The more regularly you move oil, water, air, whatever, past the hot spot, the quick, you know, the more you're replacing it with a cooler oil, water, air. You know.
No, but yeah, it depends on where the cooler stuff is coming from. When we're talking about a case, you know, that cooler, you're going to run out of cooler stuff very quickly because it's not coming from very far, you know. And there's not a lot of it. We're not talking about like a stream or something here with like loads of water coming from like constant supply of fresh, like cooler water.
But the oil is, you know, the oil isn't just sat there. You know, there's a radiator behind it cooling the oil. So there's cooler oil coming into the system and warmer oil going out. So the faster it moves around, the quicker it cools down. You know, as in obviously limited by the amount of radiator on the bag.
Mm.
So you know, there is a cooler supply of oil coming into the system and a warmer supply going out, and so you can move it around more.
Yeah.
Because I mean, interesting. There's no CPU fans, of course. CPUs are it's just the heatsink. It's literally just based on the oil movement that actually generates the coolness that cools the CPU down.
Oh, they made a maintenance log as well.
This was when they built it. It was before all the whole banning thing. A couple of years later, the company that makes this actually got the cease and desist.
So you can't even make this now?
You can do it yourself, but the company that sold the actual tank and the components no longer can do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because they got cease and desisted on them due to infringements on patents or something. So unless you make it yourself, then yeah, there's very little. It's such a niche market. You know, you are really talking the 0.01% of people who ever did it, and you know, because there is no advantage over air over water cooling, and it's a lot more hassle, and you clearly void your warranty on the cards, and you, as I say,
wait, there's no advantage over water cooling? I thought you said there is.
No, I was just making it as a, you know, you could do this instead. You don't.
So it's not even better than water cooling.
No, I mean,
so it's not worth it at all.
It looks cool.
Yeah, but okay, I guess.
How often do you see a computer submerged in what looks like a tank of water?
I thought it gave better performance when you brought it up. But it's just like hard tube and
I mean, I suppose
even further.
to a degree, you could argue maybe it does because you're water cooling every component. You know, you're submerging the whole thing, so there's not one bit that is.
Oh,
not.
nah, that's silly. Like,
but yeah, no, essentially. It's,
like if I go for water cooling, I'm only water cooling the CPU and GPU.
Because obviously you can buy motherboards that are water cooled that you.
I know you can water cool the motherboard, you can water cool the RAM, you can water cool your SSD, but there's been tests done on all that, and it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, so that's all just purely like aesthetic fluff as well.
Yes. Well,
the only components where it affects performance is GPU and CPU.
Water cooling the motherboard might have some help if you're seriously overclocking, does it not?
Nothing I've seen indicates it changes anything.
Performance or longevity?
I'm just thinking of performance.
Because you think having it severely overclocked and having a lot of power pumping through would probably help with the longevity if it's being water cooled.
I mean, the areas they water cool are motherboards. I forget what they're called.
DRAM. They're not DRAM. What are they called?
They start with an R. They're those like little metal tube things that pop out. They're like voltage regulators or something.
It's a bit, it's a bit that circulate around the CPU.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember what the name of them was off the top of my head now.
I looked at lots of videos on the water cooled RAM. That didn't even make it colder.
No, yeah, I think yeah, like CPU, GPU, and motherboard is about the limit. I would say is like of what's sensible. Because at least
to be honest, I didn't look at water cooled SSDs apart from knowing they exist. But that just sounds ludicrous. Like,
I want to say Linus has looked at water cooled SSDs. I could be wrong.
What is there to gain? Are SSDs throttled by their temperatures? They don't even get that hot.
I think he did. No, he did one himself. Did they actually find a commercial one?
Oh, one sec.
Oh, they've heard the fan. Oh.
Well, I'll be right back again.
I don't remember this one at all.
With the 16-core Core i9 7960X overclocked to 4.2 gigahertz, then we threw 4 overclocked Titan X Pascals onto the rig, and beautiful. We then used cable mod extender. First up then, our air-cooled testing. At idle, both units remained silent, thing to see here. At 2/3 load, the FSP fan spun up to about 8 unit at over 4 decibels, and I'd say subject their AXI reached only 700 RPM and was ever so slightly quieter. At full 1200 watt load, the fan spun up all the way to about 1200 RPM, reaching 50 decibels, and it was definitely audible over our 12 volt D5 pump, making it the worst offender in a hypothetical system being pushed to the limits. We saw 2 significant hotspots with our thermal camera, and we even experienced some strange clicking and crackling noises. For comparison, our Corsair hit only 950 RPM at 46 decibels, making it significantly less noticeable over a D5, not to mention that there was no crackling, but it was noticeable over a D5. So maybe there is some improvement to be had from water cooling. And besides, this, the Hydro PTM Plus 1200 watt, was never meant to be air-cooled. So let's throw this fish back in its natural habitat. With a 240mm liquid cooler hooked up, we started with this power supply at 2/3 load and, oh, well that's kind of weird. The fan turned on. It did spin at a slightly lower RPM than when it was air-cooled, but while our noise measurements did go down, we actually didn't find that it made a noticeable difference compared to all air. That midpoint heat spot was gone though. At full bore, the fan spun up to 900-ish RPM, quite a bit lower than when it was air-cooled. But it was still audible over a D5 with pretty much the same heat spots on the fan side. So what happened here? Well, without being able to take the unit apart to confirm our the block is only cooling the backside of the PCB theory. It remains just that, a theory, but one that is somewhat corroborated by these renders that we found on FSP's website. To be clear, we did observe an improvement, and it is possible that a liquid-cooled power supply could achieve better cooling and noise characteristics than an equivalent air-cooled one. But the implementation on this one did leave a bit to be desired. We had really hoped that the fan wouldn't be needed at all, as long as the water cooling didn't fail. So I would like to see a second attempt at this concept, but maybe one that is more tightly integrated, with the water block actually directly making contact with the heat-producing parts of the power supply. Maybe then FSP would be onto something. As it stands, at the time of filming, we actually don't know the price of this unit, but pretty much every component is capable of using a fun little script that Anthony, and we're done. So what it's going to do is when we run this, copy it over to LTX, we've got 4 instances into LTX2, and when it's done, over time, drives it fast. 5 gigabytes a second! Those are that's hot. Now that's hot. Well over 50 degrees, and now we're just over 40. Means I'm gonna have to rely on those text output files. We've got almost 5 gig. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. 75 degrees max here.
There we have it. It starts off with artistic design. Like, ooh, what does it look like? Ooh. I think this is what Linus had. How much does it cost though? Got such a lovely name. That doesn't look water cooled to me. This is the air cooled variant of it. Not cheap to that much.
Hello.
Hello. I love some of these concepts.
What's that?
This water cooled motherboard. Like, I love how the intro is just like not even like a picture of the motherboard. It's like concept art. It's like designed by enthusiasts, made to perfection.
What did you find out about water motherboards?
Well, I said they exist. I mean, the motherboard I originally bought was a Poseidon, like when it was a hybrid.
Is it worth it to water cool motherboards though, for performance?
I don't know. I haven't found anything about that per se. It was apparently MSI first released a cheap one, but it doesn't seem to exist anyway.
Oh, £400 is cheap.
For it's a fully water cooled $400. That is fully water cooled board. Yeah, it's 250 and it's air cooled.
Oh, that comes with the CPU area as well.
I'm not
Or
sure.
not?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess it's a block that covers everything. So you put the CPU in.
I mean, that's all over where the CPU.
Yeah. So you put the CPU in, then put the whole block over that covers both the what it's called and the CPU. Oh yeah, just say £400 actually.
Oh, this is the sim.
Yeah, but like as I say, it doesn't seem to exist. They only seem to sell the £250 variant that's air cooled.
Not out yet.
That shows it in the water variant. It's weird.
Isn't that it?
Yeah, they are, yeah, but it doesn't.
Oh, it's not for sale.
Do you not just buy it as an actual board, and then does it only get sold as like buy now? I'm having it for €453. I think we're changing to pounds, surely. No. Thanks. Deliver to United Kingdom. Well, so it's not cheap, say that much. It's £411. And so it tells me what it's not worth the price performance. But yeah, they sell an air cooled variant of it. You can see how it's just a conventional looking thing. Yeah, obviously air cools all of these bits around here. But yeah, however they do all their cooling, I don't.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now, and motherboards don't need water cool.
No,
It's aesthetic only, just like RAM or SSDs.
This is the board I remember this board.
The reason being, high-end motherboards have quality VRMs. Cheaper boards with bad VRMs benefit from water cooling.
Yeah, really. Yeah, but
yeah.
What if you were doing aggressive overclocking? Does it mention that? Whether they would benefit from cooler. Also, because of course, as I say, there's a difference. There's also performance. There's also long term running them really hot probably isn't the best thing. But yeah, this is the board that I originally chose for my build 6 years ago, and you can see it's air cooled, but it has a pipe that runs through it. See the two stoppers. So you could.
I close your stream back so once it.
So you could connect it to a water cooling loop if you wanted to.
I think if there is any difference, it'll be like very minimal.
Yes, I'm sure it is very minimal.
Yeah, I remember seeing this. Wait, no. Wait, what motherboard is this? What are you talking about?
This is my original motherboard, which I got rid of.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I thought I remember seeing it. Oh, this is the one that you had that kerfuffle with scan over?
Yes. And so there's a pipe that runs
through. Because this is the one you originally put in your current build. Yeah. I was there when you built it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's that. There was a pipe that ran through it that they then. That you could
yeah, I never actually saw you install the current motherboard you use, which is the same one I have.
Yeah, that was about a year later if I finally got built properly. Oh dear.
Alright, so this motherboard was better than the one you got now?
Yes, this one was about
If it worked.
over £200. Like it was 220 or something.
What was better about it exactly?
And it was,
Apart from the water cooling stuff they weren't using.
yeah, it was bigger. It supported quad SLI. That's dead, obviously.
Oh, it's just bigger size. Yeah.
It also had you could actually had special tools for running deleted CPUs. Or special mount for running deleted CPU. Obviously, it had built-in Wi-Fi, which this motherboard doesn't have.
Oh, nice.
Not that I use that. And it's a bigger board. It's what they call them. It's a large size board, obviously. Because
oh wow, you got a lot more USB
ports. Yeah.
Ports as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very high-end board for its time.
Looks the part.
Oh yes, yeah, it supported 16x across both slots and 8 across 4 slots. And had
It's only Gen 3 Adams. It's not Gen.
It had a dedicated special slot as well for single cards that bypassed one of the chips to make it quicker and stuff. If you're running only single cards.
3 of the PCIe ports are 16 as well, though.
Yeah. But alas, I did not stick with it. I think did it have backup? I think it had 2 BIOSes, I think. Multi-BIOS, so if you busted a BIOS, you could either switch to
By the way,
to use a backup BIOS.
Yeah.
If you broke it for overclocking excessiveness.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an overclocker's wet dream. This motherboard was supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of this stuff is very
marketing, yes.
Superficial. Yeah, marketing. Yeah, marketing. Yes. You don't need a special overclocking motherboard to overclock. You just need good cooling.
No, but you mean
on your components.
You do need a respectable board that can handle the draw, particularly of modern CPUs, where the power usage has gone up, and so having a stable, clean connection to that CPU will improve stability.
Yeah, so you just need decent, like quality motherboard. I'm not saying cheap out on it, but you don't need to splurge for one of these overclocking motherboards with water-cooled VRMs. This is more aesthetics of option.
Yeah, and also it was yellow. It matched my RAM. Which obviously it doesn't now.
But this is one of the areas where I'd be like saving money. Like I don't think it's worth going for like the most expensive motherboard.
No, yeah. I don't intend to. I know obviously they're not out yet. I don't intend to buy the most expensive Ryzen motherboard, which is like £400 or something stupid.
Yeah.
Where are the motherboard and the other ones?
The most important components are your PSU, you have a GPU, your CPU, and your RAM. Those are areas where you don't want to cheap out.
Yeah, there you go. They do sell the whole water-cooled one on here. Price on request.
Oh, that's what.
I think this is the one that Lana's put in here and then put it back in. I can't remember now. But yeah, like the whole thing is water cooled.
Oh wow, this looks really cool.
Yeah. This whole faceplate as well around the front as well.
Yeah, it's massive.
Well, obviously Linus, gets it for free. He doesn't have to worry about the price.
Yeah.
Considering the second most expensive is 550 quid, tells you how much it must cost. And the interesting there's more that are cool for pricing. It's weird when they put that. Like, well, why is it cool for pricing?
By the way, careful when you're buying a motherboard. I haven't looked into them yet, but I know ones that support Zen 3. Some of them, this will be the last generation that they support. So
yeah, I know.
If you get one of those, if you got no upgrade potential.
There's also the whole BIOS problem.
Yeah.
Because of how much compatibility there isn't enough space on the older motherboards BIOS to support all the different chips or different processors.
Right. Yeah. It's a one-way BIOS upgrade thing to support Zen 3.
Yeah. So you'll have to potentially put a CPU in it to be able to flash the bars to the right version for your CPU.
Yeah.
Because if you
it just sounds like a mess you can avoid just like getting one of the newer motherboards.
Yes. It's like it's good that they support lots of CPUs and lots of generations, but it's also like, ooh, you can't, you know, it's kind of like it's kind of gone a bit too far almost now. You know, you're causing more problems for people.
Yeah, I mean, initially they weren't going to support these bots at all, but then there was backlash.
Yeah, I remember on the WAN show they were talking about it. It's like
Because initially they said they'd support them, then they changed their mind, then they went back on it again.
You feel like you're gonna get people getting frustrated and like, why does my CPU not work? Because
did you know apparently next year we're going to see both PCIe 5 and DDR5 RAM already.
I did hear yeah. I read somewhere about that this is the last Ryzen says to be DDR4.
Yeah, the next generation of CPUs is expected to support both PCIe 5 and DDR5. So that would be like Zen 4. Yeah. Well, that won't be out next year. It'll be out like 2022. Right. Next year will just be more Zen 3, like filling out the products. That...
More Zen 3. There isn't any Zen 3 ever.
What's that?
There isn't any Zen 3 yet.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
No.
It'll debut this year. So there'll be more of it next year. I imagine the high-end parts are what's going to come out this year, and then you'll get the low-end parts and the mobile chips and whatnot coming out next year.
Did you see that they're killing the not getting there. Some motherboards are losing the 24-pin power connector.
Oh yeah.
They're switching to 12 or something like that.
What, the same as the Nvidia card?
I can't remember now, but basically it's not for high-end systems, or at least not yet anyway, whether they're going to eventually. It's for like Dell, who sell millions to, you know, offices. Basically, you know, there's additional power draw because they do a lot of converting, you know, the voltages and things for legacy, you know, because of things that were around years ago, and so they're streamlining it all. So so they're making power supplies and motherboards that are only running on 12 volts, I think it is. And
yeah.
So it brings the efficiency down. I don't know, like 20%, 30%. I can't remember what the numbers were, but you know, it's a relatively significant amount. And so, you know, when you're selling 1,000 of them to an office block, you know, it's a big saving in terms of money, in terms of the energy bills.
Yeah.
So it's quite cool that they're now bringing this kind of stuff out, but it does obviously create a sort of two-tier system, even if they're not that likely to cross over.
What's your current PSU's efficiency rating, by the way?
It's gold.
Oh, it's not titanium, Adam.
No. Like the difference between gold...
Can you even get titanium PSUs? The highest I've seen is what's under titanium? Platinum.
Yeah, you can get titanium.
It's weird that titanium is higher than
Plat and titanium.
Wait, is it the other way around?
No,
I thought titanium was the highest.
Yeah, so yeah, you can get them there surely, because that's the whole point. Why would they exist? Why would they have a name if they don't exist?
All right. No, I just haven't seen them. I haven't really been looking.
They're not cheap, I'll tell you that much. There's 240 quid, 400 quid.
Titanium's higher than plat though, right?
Yeah.
And gold comes after?
Yeah,
titanium. Is it bronze, silver, gold, platinum, titanium?
It's blank, it's white. What we only call it's 80 plus.
There's one worse than bronze actually. Yeah.
Just 80
here
plus,
we go. Yeah, this is just
up to titanium. But the problem is, it's a law of diminishing returns, isn't it? You know, like gold is 92 and 94 and 96, but the price.
Yeah, look at the percentages. Like all of them aren't that great over just the base, like non-rated one. Like that's already got you in the 80s, right?
Well, that is literally 80%. That's what it's. It has to obviously it's 80 plus, so it has to hit at least 80. And that's only on US voltages, of course. Or I think it's US, no, US 2 volts, 115 or Japanese. I don't know who run on.
So the power savings from going for like a titanium aren't worth the upfront cost.
I doubt, not unless you're.
I guess at some point they'll pay for themselves, right?
Yeah, but unless, I mean, obviously they do last. They have like 10-year warranties on them, but you got to use it quite a bit, I'm sure. It also
my PSU had a 10-year warranty on it. I'm pretty sure it's like gold or silver. I don't know. It's not titanium.
It's gold. Mine. But they're basically the same. Yours is 1,300. Mine's 1,000. They're literally identical.
Wait, mine's 1,300. Damn, I thought it was 1,000 as well.
No, yours was because yours was like on a deal. I don't know, they had a sale on or something.
Yeah, it was insane.
So yeah, they're literally. I think yours probably has a few extra sockets on it as well, obviously being 1300, but yeah, they're literally identical. Both EVGA gold power supplies.
I'll probably be downgrading my PSU then.
Why?
There's no point getting 1,300. I'll just get 1,000.
You'd be probably just keep what you've got, surely.
No, because I'll be wanting to sell the computer, which needs a working PSU.
Well, it's more efficient to be at 50%, so, you know, try and aim for 50. That's the most efficient. I don't know what the actual most efficient curvature is, but it's more efficient than 100% anyway.
What's that?
It's more efficient at 50% than 100% load. I don't know what the actual peak efficiency actually is.
All right.
So don't just, you know.
Well, so what are you saying? 1,300 better than 1,000?
It depends obviously where your it depends where your total load is depending on what you use. But yeah, like having a more powerful PSU, you may think, oh, it uses more power because it's, you know, higher wattage, but actually it could use less power because it hits the sweet spot in terms of percentage.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I don't actually know what. I think they do. Didn't they divide the curve somewhere, don't they? 80 plus gold efficiency curve. I don't know. It might depend on the actual PSU itself, I suspect, as opposed to just because I think the ratings are only for 20, 50, and 100. So I think individual power supplies will vary depending on the. I suppose they probably still sell like identical PSUs, don't they? Because I don't know they change very much in the This is literally what we bought.
Maybe they'll have an excuse to come out with new ones now for the 12th ThinkConnect.
10-year
Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, G1000, G2 thing.
But it just looks the same.
Yeah, well, they can't innovate, can they? Really? What can you do to a power supply? I don't know what these different things are supposed to represent. They're all gold. Some are modular. Partial. Oh, wait, what? Modular full, modular. What the hell does that mean? Doesn't seem to provide any information either. Yeah, I got the 1,000 one, you got the 1300 watt variants. They probably do actually have the exact same ports on them even.
Wait, do they still sell these?
Yeah.
The very same. They haven't changed.
Well, yeah, on Amazon. I mean, what would they change?
One sec.
Hey, so that's the red PCI pack cables.
Well, what is this price?
Price for the 1,000 watt one.
Well, what the hell? They've gone up in price.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure my 1,300 didn't cost as much.
I can't remember. I'm sure mine didn't cost that much. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, it's literally identical. It's like they're not. I mean, unless they've. I don't know if you just search for.
Yeah, I suppose, like you said, there's no innovation to be had to. Apart from like making it more efficient, I guess.
Yeah, like Corsair.
They could also change the cooling. I don't know. That's not really a problem though.
No.
I haven't heard about water-cooled PSUs, have you?
Yeah. Well, I just watched a video on it because I was browsing.
Okay.
Is that,
I know what
is
you're
that
thinking.
worth doing? Probably not.
No, not really. Well, there's only like one of them that exists. This is a hybrid kind of thing, so
Okay, so yeah, it's not worth doing.
The water block sits under the PCB like that, and that's what they speculate is how it works, which isn't very efficient. So, and the fan still turns on it, even when you got water cooling running, and it was like marginal. Where is it? There's a graph somewhere down there. It's like marginally better, but not even worth it, like compared to it. So if you put it on water, like it will drop from 50 to 43 decibels. But if you just had a decent air cooler, it was at 46 anyway. You lost 3 decibels at full load. And it's the same at 2/3 load. So yeah, it's like not worth it.
Yeah, PSU is among like the quietest components anyway. And the coolest, I think, at least on the outside, so yeah. Doesn't need much more cooling.
But yeah, I mean these are 189, I don't know if you can actually search the tie. God, it's about titanium. Because that's what the problem is, of course, is how much more they cost often, these things.
Yeah, I mean those gold ones are expensive already.
Probably shouldn't be looking on EVGA on here, I should be looking on like, yeah.
EVGA might not even have any titanium.
Should be looking at like eBuy or something.
Whoa, what is that?
What is what?
Those at the top, 1,600.
I don't know what you were looking at.
Oh, right, on the Amazon page. Oh, right, I'm not even on live, my bad.
All PSUs. Okay, I think you can you say you can search by efficiency. If there's a white, what the hell is 80 plus white? Is that just the cheapest? I guess it must be. Yeah, 37.
Yeah, it must be.
That's just the basic white variant.
You should get one of those.
Oh, I've learned my mistakes. I didn't. I might.
Also had PSU troubles.
The first 2 I bought weren't even 80 plus rated.
Wow.
I think I can still find it's from C. I still have it on my list. It's funny. Oh, why has it not got my password saved to a bloody thing? I don't know what my password is. Man. Yeah, so yeah, gold, do we do?
Why are we looking at gold? So I thought you wanted to look at the titaniums.
Yeah, I was trying to like compare the price. Do we even do 1,000 watts anymore?
They got one titanium though.
That's weird. They don't even have. I guess that's why they're expensive. Is they're just nobody needs them anymore. You know, computers have got more efficient. As in, you know, I know obviously the new cards perhaps not, but you know, people, and obviously the SLI is dead, so they don't sell PSUs.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
So they just don't sell.
I see. Those higher watts, yeah. Just
I mean, the highest gold is 850 on eBuy.
Yeah, it makes sense what you said. Generally speaking, power usage has been going down, and yeah, and SLI being dead was a big contributor to that. But yeah, but now this gen changes because these cards are less efficient when it comes to power usage.
Plat, it's 160, and then the only titanium is 410. 410 pounds.
Whoa!
It's 1,600.
But it's also 1,600
watts. Exactly. No, it's any better or not.
I wonder how much of that is the titanium rating, or just being 1,600.
Yeah.
I think it's more just being 1,600. I don't think that rating seems to be that expensive. Then, as like it's not much of it.
But they don't make any components unless you're buying 1,600 watt variants.
Yeah, that's the only one on that site. Whoa, what monitors have you been looking at, mate?
Oh, I was browsing.
Oh, the BFG. I was looking at that 4K price tag.
Yeah. Where the hell is... Oh, yeah, power supplies. They're called PSUs on here. They're called power supplies. Thanks. Oh, what's there? Highest 10 ones on here. 120. I can't remember. It's under 5. I said all, you stupid piece of crap. I said view all. And you show me ones that are only...
By the way, compare that $4,000 BFG to the
Yeah, it's crap. I don't know who.
To the C9.
Exactly. Yeah. Apart from the fact it's 65 inches, but even then, I'm sure the C9 at 65 inches is.
But you can get 60. That one is considerably more expensive though. I think it's 2,700, but it's still cheaper and better. Yeah, the price goes up quite a lot when you jump to 65 inches.
I think they are coming down. Can't remember, okay, Linus did a video about it, like where they are now in terms of manufacturing single slabs of screens, or what you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think 60. I want to say 65 now is like the new like cheap standard they can do. I could be wrong. Yeah, 1600 for their titanium. Well, there's an EVGA one, which is 400 for it. They've got a lot more on here that are titanium based. But again, they're all 1200, 1500 watts. But the titanium that's what they do, the EVGA do still sell them. That's 300. What's the cheap? Probably you can't search by power rating on this.
Nice. Might get me one of these titaniums.
It's gold. I mean, if you're looking at 1,000 watts, yeah, I mean, so the cheapest plat is 184, whereas outside of this one, God knows who they are, they're at least 170 quid if you're looking at 1,000 watts. I wonder if they sell any there in the 8.
By the way, do you have a night shift one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Long day and yeah.
Alright, in that case, I don't need to worry about you leaving too soon. So, I still haven't actually sorted out all the shopping yet. So, give me a good 10 minutes or so, and I'll do it, and then I'll be back.
Okay. Right. Let's go all the way back to 2011. Makes you feel old. So old. 100 pretty pounds expecting the B division. 100 and 200 pounds on my 190. Oh, 190 was it. Ah, bring back memories. Look at that beast, look at that beast! That's what we're talking about, baby. 560 Ti. Oh, I love what. Oh. It's IDE. IDE. All the rage, all the rage. They're free concurrent viewers. Yay, just a ride to watch us lose, I guess. Rematch, baby, rematch. Come on. Exactly, like the book. Kaboom! Right in the top. Right in the top of the net. Back at the net. Back in that net too. Nicely done. Covered their attempt at defensive clearance, but he missed it. Oh, he didn't actually come out and waved it. He didn't actually have it.
Hello again. Yeah, Adam, so with the savings you can make by going for the 80 over the 90, you can go for custom loot. And then probably get like comparable performance when you're not VRAM limited.
Maybe that's your option. I see with sell. It's 2-watt titanium. It's interesting. Wonder how low they go. Well, I suppose you probably want to go down this low anyway.
What's stopping you from going custom?
Well, I just don't need to. Like, it's just an unnecessary expenditure and problem that I don't think.
I mean, you don't need to buy anything. You don't need to buy a 3080. It's not really a reason. So, like, why don't you want to?
Because it's just too much hassle. And it's more expenditure.
I still think the extra price is made up with extra performance. I think like the price to performance ratio on water cooling is pretty good. Maybe not so back in the day. Water cooling used to be more expensive, but current prices aren't too bad. I can understand the more hassle argument though.
Yep. There you are. There's the power supply for you.
What is this?
Fanless Titan. 750 watts. Is that enough?
There's not enough watts.
Is that not enough for a 3090 then? I don't know, isn't it?
This is the bare minimum to the 3090. 750.
Actually, it's 700.
Wait, there's even 750.
It's 700.
So it's not enough. This is under the minimum requirements.
No, but it is 750, but not fanless. It's pretty much of it. Yeah, the cheapest, the obviously 800, obviously the do 800, but then they have fans, and it's very impressive they can get 750 watts out of these things with no fans.
Because these cards are expected to push 400 watts plus, you know, when they're overclocked. That's why AIBs have gone with 3 8-pin connectors.
This is my first power supply from CIT, so you know it's good.
How much was it?
I pay £38.72.
Wow.
In 2011.
That's still way cheap.
Yep. On my first ever motherboard, with it still on an IDE. And actually, this is the wrong picture, isn't it?
Well, this looks like the same one that I had.
Well, yeah, the wheels are just a higher spec one. This isn't actually even the board. This is the wrong board. They sent me the wrong board. It should be the LE version because it still had an IDE.
Isn't that the one? Isn't that first one I bought that I ended up selling? Or is it the one we have now? I can't remember.
Yeah, you sold yours. Yours was the plus model. Yours was like the most expensive variant of this board.
Right. Yeah. I sold it along with the i5 500K.
2,500K.
For like 150.
Yeah, this is the actual variant. That's all I had, I think. Where's the picture of it? I remember because it. Why did I not show you a picture of the darn thing? It was the only variant that still had an IDE port on it.
Oh, what port?
That one there, it must be it. IDE, the prequel to SATA. Yeah, this giant connector here. Pre-IDE, pre-SATA. So before SATA, you have ribbon cables to connect your power supply to your motherboard. Sorry, what's power
ancient technology.
To connect your hard drive or disk drive to your motherboard, yeah, with IDE ribbon cables. So yeah, ancient technology, even in 2011.
Did you buy it for that reason?
No, I bought this variant without it, and then they sent me the cheaper version with it. But I actually think I needed to. I think I actually made use of it because I didn't have a disk drive at the time. I used a USB disk drive, and so I think I then scrounged an old IDE one from somewhere and put that in as a temporary solution. I was on a shoestring budget when I built my first PC.
Yeah.
I had 650 quid of my budget, and hence why I bought the cheapest.
What was your GPU? I don't remember.
It was this baby here, the 560 Ti Amped edition from Zotac. Comped Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Well, they had TI cards, right?
Yep.
On a 60, no less.
And this is a TI Amped. So this was literally Like this was the overclocked variant of the overclocked variant.
No, the TI isn't an overclocked variant.
No, but
I get what you're saying though.
Yes, this was the overclocked version of the TI, and it was like.
What G-stop version for the 60?
It was there. According to
Looks
reviews,
nice.
according to the reviews, like literally you couldn't push it any harder.
Single fan only.
Yeah, well, it was only a 560.
Those days are long gone.
Yeah, it looks tiny, that little fan. Cost me £190, that did. It's the most expensive component of the build.
I'm pretty sure like the 3060 is not. You're not going to see any with just a single fan. But that's my guess.
Yeah, it's also a tiny little fan. It's not a big
Yeah.
fan.
I mean, the Founders Edition of the 3070 only comes with 2 fans. Then, to be fair, maybe they'll get to one fan on the 60.
Yeah, that motherboard though was such a pain in the ass.
But now that I think about it, all of them just have 2 fans. Even like the 90 Founders Edition. They're not on the same side.
No.
They got the whole vapor chamber design going.
They left that motherboard sat in Yeovil depot for 3 days. They did. Can you believe it? So annoying it was. It arrived on Sunday evening, and like it didn't do anything for the first day on Monday. And then I remember on the second day they put it in the van, you know, the update notification, and then they took it out the van. So what? It went in the van and came out the van, and then didn't get anywhere on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday it finally showed up. It showed up about 6 o'clock in the evening on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
He must have been eager for it to arrive.
It's like it was the last component. Like it was, you know, like
holding you back.
Literally, you can't do anything. You know, if you didn't have if you didn't have the graphics card, you could just build it and use like Luke's graphics card. Luke had a 90. What did he have? A 9800.
I know what you mean. Like
GS.
If it was any other component, you could put everything else in place.
Yeah.
Without the motherboard,
or
like,
substitute
nothing's
other components. I mean, obviously, like RAM, you could
Yeah.
substitute, but you could build it and just leave the RAM missing. But motherboard is literally, you can't really do much. If I put the hard drive in it, or hard drive. I had no SSD. Just single 1 terabyte hard drive. I had the cheapest RAM I could get my hand on. It was just this, and it was only a single channel 4 gig stick from PC World for about 28 quid. Knowing that I was going to upgrade it to 8 gig at some point, I bought single channel 4 gigs. It was.
By the way, why do you end up buying my RAM at some point?
It was.
Is it because you have some slow RAM?
Yeah, it was faster and it looked.
Because I think you went from 8 to 8 gig, right?
Yeah, it was 8 to 8, but it was nicer looking and it was faster.
Nicer looking.
My RAM was literally just, you know, green PCB with the chips sold onto it. It was, you know, there was nothing elegant about that original RAM. It was pure just functionality over style.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
There was no
old school RAM.
No heat,
I still have RAM like that.
Yeah, no heat spreader, no nothing.
Yeah.
And
not that it needs it really. Even heat spreaders aren't required, you know.
No.
They're just for aesthetics. RAM just doesn't get that hot justify any form of cooling.
I think the ones in my Mac Pro might need their heat sinks they have on them. They do get bloody hot even with the heat sinks on them.
Yeah, the heat sinks are such a pain in the ass, like because they get in the way of those massive CPU coolers.
Yes.
I don't know why more RAM manufacturers don't think of that.
Well,
like there's very little choice when it comes to low profile, which is very frustrating. Because it is way more important to have a giant CPU cooler for performance than it is to have heat sinks on your RAM.
That board and RAM and CPU are still going strong. Luke has them in his computer.
Oh, nice.
Hoping he might buy my 4790 off me. And CPU.
90k, don't forget.
90k and
it's got that unlocked potential.
RAM and CPU, RAM and motherboard. Maybe he might buy the trio set as he did last time, because I know he has been talking about changing that 2,500k.
Hey, so on the 17th, what's your plan going to be exactly? You said you'll buy whatever you can get your hands on.
I don't know how it's all going to work. Whether they're going to have pre-orders opening up beforehand.
There is a specific date when orders open. I can't remember when it is. Yeah. There is a date on that day when the orders go live. I imagine that'll be enforced across like all websites and stuff.
You mean a time on that day?
Yeah,
You
time
said
on
a
that
date
day.
on
So,
that day.
a date on that day. Yeah. There's a time on that day. I know Overclockers has them for sale already. I mean, not for sale.
No.
Has the pages up.
Yeah, and they have prices and things.
Yeah, but pre-orders aren't allowed.
Yeah.
And Nvidia shut them down. What other sites? I haven't actually looked to like scan eBay. They must surely have.
They have
some,
them, but I
right?
don't-
Or Amazon.
They have them, but they don't. I don't think some of them have prices, and it's a bit hit and miss. But yeah, none of them you can actually do anything other than some of them say like
Yeah.
it's coming soon and things.
But they must all have their store pages up. I mean, by this point.
Yeah, they all do exist.
Because they have to have them ready for when they do go live on the 17th. Yeah.
The future has arrived.
Like, well, what will you prioritize though? Because you can't. That's the thing. It's like, you know, you have to start with one, and then if the order goes through, you're not going to buy another one. But there is a risk your order might go through, and then you get a message, and come alongside a refund. You know, that would suck.
Yeah, I was worried that might happen with the monitor. I was like, because given how quickly people keep buying them up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is it gonna not like go anywhere else to get it? But
Because if it tells you your order went through, you're not going to go and buy another one. I don't know. It depends on what the cancellation policy is.
Yeah.
If they have a lenient cancellation policy, then you might be served buying more than one, just in case that first one ends up getting rejected.
I'm not working on.
Yeah, because just because the order goes through, it's no guarantee that it's actually reserved for you, because it can be a bunch of people ordering at once.
By sheer dumb luck, I'm not working on the 17th.
Oh, nice.
Like, they have to sit there and just press F5 all day.
but like, which ones will you prioritize? Do you have any in mind?
Not really. I mean, not really.
Which one will you start with? Like, the moment they go live, which one will you try and buy?
I don't know.
Like, you gotta start with one.
Most of them don't have. I'm hoping they might release some more information about them. Most of them just say, boost clock to be determined to be.
Yeah, I don't think no one's released boost clocks. Well, that's not important. Just look at the cooling, because you can just easily overclock it yourself. Cooling is way more important than
Yeah, but like
whatever boost clocks they come.
How do you know what the cooling? How do you know if the cooling's any good? They all just show triple fan.
That's
design.
true. Yeah, it's hard to tell between the air-cooled ones that just have triple fans.
They all look the same.
I suppose I prioritize chunkiness, which is why I was only half joking when I was talking about getting the 4-slot one, because that one should have like the best air-cooled.
Or number of fans, right?
Yeah, and but I have
so I should be buying this
the
one.
only 4-fan one I know is the one with the extra fan on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
It's pretty ugly looking though. This is also is this like 4-slot with the extra fan?
Just look at it.
I think it brings it up to 4-slot. Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
It's just like someone just plugged it on the top.
It literally is. That extra fan is detachable. It's not actually stuck.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's just like, what? Caution, hot surface.
Yeah, but otherwise, you should. See, this is the thing with you. You don't want to spend extra, but yeah, going for AIOs would be the best word for it. One sec.
They don't sell any IOs.
Wait, don't they have the colourful one? That must be sold somewhere. That one looks really good. You haven't seen it yet. Type in colourful, the American spelling, with like 3080 or whatever. They do have lots of variants, but they're a water-cooled one to shot.
It's none that I haven't seen any water-cooled ones on any website.
And yeah, EVGA is going to have one, of course. I'm not talking about the Kingpin.
Yeah, but not on launch day.
There it is. You can see the image there, the top left. Oh, really? The water-cooled ones won't be available.
Well, I haven't seen any on any websites. They've all been air-cooled ones.
I see. So they're not even choices, huh? That sucks.
So presumably they're not going to be out because
Yeah, what do you think of that colourful one? That you see?
Oh, this thing.
Yeah, it's got to be like the prettiest one.
Is it? Looks a bit.
Oh, you don't like the design?
Well, I just think it looks a bit like odd. Like it's all black and there's like weird spinning thing in the middle.
That's not a fan, by the way. That's just like some LED earring. I don't think it serves any function. It's just aesthetics.
It just looks a bit out of place.
Yeah. So this one doesn't have a fan on it, unlike most AIO water cooled cards that come with like one fan.
So is it?
This one's just water block.
Surely it must have some fans, or it's a complete water block.
Nope. Tell me where the fans are. It doesn't have any. I guess the block is covering the whole PCB.
It's not a hybrid then.
Well, I didn't say it's a hybrid. It's just water cooled card.
Yeah. It'd be bloody expensive then. Because full jackets are obviously more expensive than just a little one to go over the. That's why the hybrid ones are cheaper. Because they don't have such big blocks on them.
Yeah, you told me when I got mine back in the days.
Yep. That's why it was a lot cheaper than any other ones. Because it doesn't cool the whole thing.
Because it's less important to water cool the rest of the PCB. It's kind of like motherboard water cooling.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly more important than motherboard water cooling.
But I suppose most of them are all fairly similar, really. I mean, yeah.
No, then again, actually, RAM doesn't get water cooled with a hybrid card, does it?
Nope.
I hear VRAM can get pretty expensive. So, no, there is some justification to having a full water block on a card. Because you get to cool that RAM and then overclock your memory.
Some are like.
RAM's a big heat generator on a GPU.
Yeah. Oh, it's also just like, what's the difference? Particularly if they don't release these like clock speed low.
Part of the reason the 3090s are so massive is because they got so much RAM.
Is the Eagle OC amp graphics card better than the gaming OC amp? Yeah.
All of these had previous versions, so just look at the touring versions of these.
I mean, this is what I had for my 2080 Ti, the gaming edition from Gigabyte.
So I guess if you're happy with that, then you can try and get the 3080 version of it.
The game, I think this was quite heavy. The X Trio was quite heavy.
So on launch day, it's just cooled cards we're saying on the 17th.
Well, looks yeah. I mean, there's been no websites that showed anything other than air cooled cards.
Yes. So you got the high end ones like Asus's ROG one. I forget what it's called. They got some expensive one. It's like the most expensive one on overclockers actually. I think the most expensive 3090 anyway. I haven't looked at the 3080 pieces.
Yeah, 829, and this is the one more expensive. This is 850. It's the most expensive variant. It's the.
Yeah, this is the one.
I'm not sure what the difference is between this one and the other one.
This is Asus's ultimate variant.
Oh, it's OC. That's the non-overclocked, and that's the overclocked version.
Yeah.
But like, it's £100 more. It feels. Yeah. No, I
suppose
£200 more even. Sorry.
Must be binned for. So otherwise, if they're not binned for, then it's hard to justify that price increase. Because that overclock is something you can do yourself.
Yeah, I mean, does it?
Like, there's no point paying for
it. It does it itself, basically. You know, it has its boost thing. Most of it is overclock. You know, like I mean, look at my Gigabyte card. Its overclock was like 1650 or something megahertz, and it boosted to 1900.
Yeah, they all boost, but
So it's kind of.
Well, that doesn't mean you still can't overclock to move those parameters further up.
No, but it's like it goes way beyond the boost clock using its own internal boost 3.0, so it's kind of a bit irrelevant.
Yeah.
3 times 20 degrees cooler than the RTX. Really? Based on what? Every year they get 3 times quieter or something, don't they? It's like, Well, I suppose technically, as decibels are a linear scale or a logarithmic scale, I suppose.
Yeah. Which 2080 are they comparing it to here? This is like completely meaningless information. Just saying 2080. What?
True, it's probably compared to the reference design or like a blower design.
They should be specific. Like they don't tell you.
Nope.
Like it's completely It's just so stupid. This marketer. Like, tell me which specific model you're talking about, so I can like see what the temperatures and and sounds are with that. So then you know exactly what you're getting here.
And he said he put it in brackets. I was thinking this is a 3080. There's no NV link on it. But they do actually say it's 3090 only, which is kind of silly, even if necessary. Like Because admittedly, like if NVLink actually existed and worked well, you know, you could have two 3080 for the price of a 3090.
Oh yeah, the 3090 would be.
Apart from the lack
bad,
of VRAM, but with NVLink it scales anyway, so you get 20 gigs. So it really would.
Wait, even for games?
I don't know. I mean, admittedly it's dead anyway.
No, because I don't think any games support NVLink. So the RAM wouldn't double. What I mean by that, till I got replaced by NVLink, but the games still only are restricted to like using it like SLI.
But if they actually supported it properly, then you could.
Yeah, but I haven't heard of any games that support the full extent of NVLink.
I mean,
so
you can't even do it anyway with the 3080.
no VRAM doubling. So like having two 3090s, you're still going to be limited to only 24 gigs for games.
Oh no, what a shame.
Yeah. But yeah, SLI is barely supported as is, so I don't think NVLink is ever going to get support for games.
Well, they keep,
unless
and the fact they keep reducing it even further, the fact that the minimum requirement is a 3090 at 1.4K.
I guess the next step is just cutting it all together.
That's so frustrating.
Like a Quadros only.
Yeah.
Or Titans only.
Like why have you killed it off? That's so much.
But why are you frustrated by the reduced support? That's not what should frustrate you. It's just the lack of SLI support in games. But it doesn't matter that they're reducing the cards because there's no games that support in the first place.
Yeah, I mean it's a chicken and egg thing, isn't it? You know, if Nvidia slowly kills it off, and they're not going to be encouraged to put it into more games.
I'd say game support died off when Nvidia started culling it. So I wouldn't blame. Well, I mean, I blame them for maybe not pushing dev support it more. But the game and the software side definitely died off first before they started reducing the number of cards you can actually use it with.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. That's weird. Why did it not mention the 3090's power requirements there? Was it? Oh, maybe it's a typo. It must be a typo because it mentioned 3070 twice. It must be referring to 3080 and 3090 and then 3070.
Yeah, that's a typo. Yeah, 80 and 90 both have the same power requirements because they're built on the same
Yeah, and it's only 20 watts.
Graphics
It's only 30 watts between them as opposed to the 100 watts down to the 3070.
Yeah. 3070 doesn't even use GDDR6X really. Not sure if you knew. It uses GDDR6, the same as like the 2080.
Yeah, I know. It's obviously got quite a lot slower bus speed and things.
So it is like 100% worse than the 2080 Ti when it comes to VRAM because it's the same VRAM but 3 gigs less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's a far greater floating point and things.
But if you hit that 8 gigabyte bottleneck, then the 2080 Ti is better than the 3070. But otherwise, if you're not VRAM bottleneck, the 3070 is better. And obviously, it's way cheaper.
Way. Next gen 8K HDR.
Yeah. Those console prices, though. You just spent 249 at them. Get a whole system with a controller. Next gen ready.
I'm not sure about next gen ready. Supports it.
A fair comparison though is the Series X, which is still 400 and 50, which is still like way less.
It's cheaper than the cheapest 30 series. Nothing's a car.
Is it? Oh, how much is the 3070 again? I can't remember. I think the 3070 is cheaper, not?
It's 480, 470. It's 470.
You sure?
Pounds, yeah.
Oh wow. So yeah, the 3070 is
I think there
more
are some
expensive
that are going
than
to
the
be. I think
Series
there are some going to be
X.
450 actually, but yeah, it's 450.
Oh, it's the same price as the entire Series X and control.
But still, yeah.
It is stronger though.
That's 469.
The 3060 is what will be more like console level, whenever that comes out.
Yeah, because I mean,
this is that'll be cheaper than the consoles.
Yeah.
But you still need to build a PC around it.
Yes. But that always happens, you know. They release it below.
Yeah,
value.
the consoles are always best value against PC when they launch, because the gap between them and PC hardware is at its smallest. Yeah.
And then
And then it just gets worse and worse as the generation drags on. Worse for the consoles, that is. Yeah. But I suppose consoles are best value to get at launch rather than like waiting for the price to reduce.
Because they start cheap. And then they also do get a bit cheaper, but yeah, their performance, relatively speaking.
Yeah, like the performance downgrade compared to PC is faster than the price drop. Yeah. Compared to like PC components at the same price. Because yeah, they just come out with faster stuff at the same price on PC.
Which forces the price lower much more rapidly.
Yeah, like consoles at the end of their life, yeah, just more value against like spending the same money on a PC.
Because there'll be a lot of cheap Xbox Series X's when Xbox. Too many bloody, too similar names. Xbox One S, Xbox One X's when the new ones drop.
Yeah.
It's like so annoying. Xbox One X and Xbox Series X.
Xbox One S, Xbox One X, and there's Series S and Series X.
Yeah, it's like bloody hell. No one will make it easy, do you, Microsoft, with the naming schemes. X, and it's also because they sound so similar as well. XS, X and S.
Yeah.
It's not T and Q. You know, it's pretty. You know, it's really easy to muddle the words up.
And one and Series make no sense.
Nope. The Xbox One, the third generation Xbox, the Xbox Series X, the fourth series. It's like what?
The Series X was known for months, by the way.
Was what for months?
Known about for months.
Oh yeah.
It's not new information. It was just officially revealed yesterday.
Well, they had to. A load of it got leaked.
Yeah, because entire console, the price, the release date, all got leaked yesterday. So then Microsoft was like, "Fuck them," then they just announced everything officially. Basically, just confirming the leak. If they didn't leak it themselves.
Yeah.
Because this is something companies do build up hype. They leak stuff to the press.
You leaked it? Oh no. Oh well, we'll just have to tell everyone now.
PlayStation still doesn't have a official release date.
No, it'll probably be around November.
I wonder if the PlayStation's going to be more expensive than Xbox One X. Xbox One X was expected at $600.
Yeah.
Ended up being $100 less.
I want to go back and when they do release the PlayStation 5, I want to go back and watch the WAN show where they tried to guess the price. I can't remember how long ago it was now. I can't remember what they were guessing. I think they were talking because they were also speculating how much the difference between the disc and the non-disc variant was going to be.
Yeah.
I can't remember. They said they did go quite high there. I think they're like, was it $150 because of how much money that cheaper for the non-disc version because of how much Microsoft, how much Sony will make back on digital downloads only.
Yeah, the Series S doesn't have a disc though.
Yeah, because they can sell it to you directly from their store and mark it up at whatever how much they get. Do they get 30% or is it less than that? But yeah, that's worth a lot to them. So they'll want to entice you in with the disc version.
Oh, by the way, the Series S is also the smallest Xbox in terms of physical form factor.
Because it's using last generation hardware, basically.
I think the current smallest Xbox is the Xbox One S. Is it smaller than the? What was the small 360 Slim? Was it? What was the small version of the 360?
Was there a 360 Slim? I know there's a PlayStation.
There was definitely a small version of 360. I can't remember what it was called. I don't think it was Slim, but it had some name.
Slim.
That's the one. Yeah. Wait,
S.
was it actually just called Slim?
It was called S, referred to as a Slim.
So they're already using the S model back in the 360 days. There just wasn't a 360X.
No, it was a 360S and 360E, which presumably was like a cheaper.
No, that's just the Elite.
Oh, that's the Elite. Oh, okay.
It's not actually stronger Xbox. It just had like a bigger hard drive, but it's the same specs.
Oh, the Red Ring of Death.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if the 360S was smaller than the one 1S. I think the 1S might be smaller. And yeah, now the Series S is smaller still. But yeah, I mean, judging by those pics on the wiki, the 1S is definitely smaller.
Hmm.
In comparison to the Troller, which is like stayed the same size. And yeah, the One X is the best Xbox controller, I think. I mean, Xbox console. Sorry, no, not the One X. The Series X. Stupid names. The Series X is the biggest Xbox console. It's either the Series X or it's the original Xbox. Because I believe the original Xbox One was bigger than the original Xbox. It was the biggest Xbox console.
Yeah.
The original Xbox was bigger than all the 360s, but then it was beaten by the original Xbox One.
Wikipedia's had enough of this bullcrap. It's Xbox 4th generation.
That's jokes.
Xbox X redirects here, not to be confused with the 3rd generation model Xbox One X.
Too many names.
Even they're like, yeah, this is just too hard to deal with. Just rebrand, for God's sakes.
I wonder if the PlayStation Wikipedia is PlayStation 5th generation.
Yeah.
Or if it just says PlayStation 5.
Custom, yeah, 4 teraflops. It's targeting 1440p and includes support for 4K upscaling at 60 FPS, or it can go as high as 120 at this resolution. So in theory, if you've got an indie title or something that's really not demanding, you can do 4K 120 on the S. But yeah, I suspect most of them will be 1440p 60 that can upscale, cheat upscale.
Yeah, the Series S reminds me of the PS1, not the PlayStation, the PS1.
Yeah. It was a lot smaller.
Which was the smaller version of the original station.
Yeah, we had both at some point to certain degrees. You're pretty neat.
It's pretty funny though that they got the smallest ever Xbox and the biggest ever Xbox
In the same generation.
releasing at the same time. Yeah.
It's got less RAM, is it, this Series S?
Yeah, so you got 10.
Because it doesn't need so much.
Which is I think it's still more than the One X, right? I think the One X still just has 8 gigs. Oh, I could be mistaken.
Probably. Xbox One X 12. So it has less.
Oh, really?
Interesting. The S and the original Xbox One had 8.
Yeah, I didn't know they increased the RAM. The One X. I suppose it makes sense actually. It is a 4K console.
Yeah. So it's 6 teraflops, so it's actually quite a bit less than it's actually only 2/3 the power of the Xbox One X. At least in terms of floating point, anyway. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily dictate just quite how it will be like in the in game.
How many teraflops do the Ampere cards have again?
Yeah, it's 30 for the 3080 and 35 for the 3090.
Yeah. Compare it to the consoles, even the Series X.
Yeah, I think it's
Which is
I
the
think it's
strongest.
20 for the 3070. If I remember rightly.
And what's the Series X again? Is it 12?
It's 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
12.
You can see the power difference there. It's not all about teraflop.
No, because I think the
It's an indicator.
the 3080 Ti, I think is like, isn't it like 11 or something? 12, 13. It's quite a bit less than the 3070, despite the fact that both should be relatively similar performance.
No, the 3070 is expected shit on performance.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
But yeah, I got what you mean. They're close.
Yeah, they're gonna be close. They're not. It's not double the performance.
But the 3070 does have the lead.
Yes.
All right, but you mean the performance gap isn't relative to the difference in teraflops?
Yeah, the floating point is massive between the two of them, but the performance is quite similar. Where's the Wikipedia article? Why can't they just... Good old Wikipedia always has most information you want. Yeah, single point. So that's RTX. That's the wrong one. There's two variants. What's the plus variant? Is that like some version they re-released? I don't know. Yeah, so it's 11.7 floating point. This is gigaflops, not teraflops. So yes, you've got to divide it by 1,000. 11.7 teraflops as opposed to 20, and yeah, but it's obviously not going to double the performance.
Yeah, so the Series X should be around 2080 Ti in performance, or maybe a 2080 Super, somewhere in between.
Yeah. I wonder if they still sell the Titan even. No, they do. £2,400? Sure, why not? $2,400, sorry. So.
Yeah, you can still buy like the Turing cards from Nvidia. They still have stock.
Yeah,
they stopped making them months ago. They haven't been able to ship all the stock that's already available.
I know that you can still buy them from like other retailers and stuff as well.
Yeah, because Turing didn't sell well because of the horrible pricing.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually a terrible generation, like in terms of the performance uplift. It was just average. But yeah, the pricing was just a catastrophe.
In stock for £1,000. All for £1,200. I mean, what a bargain.
I'm surprised that none of these retailers have adjusted their prices yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't.
There's probably morons still buying these cards at these businesses.
Maybe.
Surely these prices will come down once Ampere actually comes out. Then again, if the entire stock sells out day one, who knows?
You still buy the 3070? Out of stock. What have they still got on their website? 320 quid, are you joking? You can
Yes,
still,
they just never change the price.
you can still buy the 1050. But it's out of stock, so obviously they've run out. They haven't got any to sell to you. But still, yeah. Like, I bought one of those for about half price. Obviously it was used, but still.
Well, Pascal architecture is a game-changing technology.
Yeah, yeah. It's always funny.
Next generation.
It's always funny reading. Like I was looking up like my 3080, my 680 to see if it could support the new monitor, and like reading the blurb for it from them. Fastest, most powerful, most efficient we've ever built. We didn't stop there. Dynamically boosts for extra performance.
Doesn't this count as false advertising? Because like this is still up. Someone could read this and believe it.
Yeah, but I suppose if they haven't updated the page since then I suppose it's not, is it? The page is just legacy. If they're not updating the page anymore, then I guess you can't. They're not selling it either. You can't compare and buy. It's really
Look at the GeForce Technologies SLI DirectX 11
CUDA.
Vision.
Supports
This
CUDA.
XX is probably there as well. TXAA has a new technology. Yeah, Physics X is there. no G-Sync, you got adaptive V-Sync instead.
No, there's G-Sync down there.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, never mind. Wait, when did G-Sync was out actually, yeah. Wait, was this the generation when G-Sync came out?
I don't know.
Might have been. It must have been actually. I'm pretty sure it was. It wasn't around for the 5 series, so it must have been the 6 then.
Yeah, minimum's a 650 Ti.
Yeah, there you go. First generation to G-Sync. G-Sync is old news now. It's all about the new anti-latency thing.
Yeah.
Where you plug your mouse into your monitor. and you need to get a new mouse as well.
Do you?
No, only if you want, I can't remember.
True end-to-end.
No, not that. There's some new feature that new mice have. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
You'll have to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you get one of the new mice and one of the new monitors, then you'll get the full experience.
It's quite amusing also that the performance charts don't even include the card you're looking at. These only go back to the 750. In fact, I'm looking at a 680, but they only show from 10 down to 7. Which doesn't show me the performance of my 680.
Weird.
It's like...
They've even got newer cards on there after the 680 came out.
Well, yeah, so they haven't got any cards from the 680. Doesn't exist. It's down here.
Alright, yeah.
All newer cards than the 680.
Yeah, what the hell is this charting on the 680 page? Like, this would have been added way later.
Yes. I mean, it's got cards from 2018.
They got Pascal cards here.
No, 2016 even, not 2018.
No 1080 Ti though.
No.
What came out first, the 1080 or the Titan X? I guess it was the Titan X actually.
Yeah, normally
Titan usually came out before Ti.
Titan's coming before the Ti.
Yeah. I think Touring was the first generation when they got at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did they come out at the same time? Or did the Ti come out first?
Well, they were all announced at the same time. Whether they all what the release date was, I don't know.
Wait, so they released the 2080, 80 Ti, 70, and Titan all at once. Well, I mean, they announced them all at once.
Did they announce the Titan at launch? I don't know when they announced.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think they announced the Titan at launch.
Yeah, I think the Titan came out after the Ti.
Yes, I'm sure it did.
It was the first time that happened.
Yeah.
It was also the first time the Ti came out at launch as well. Usually you had to wait.
Still got the old Titan Z on here, of course. The dual Titan card.
Because the TIs were always just cut on Titans.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Titan would come out first. But then with Touring, it was the other way around for some reason. And now there are no TIs or Titans.
I know how much a Titan Z costs you now.
Probably still the same price. That doesn't mean people are buying.
£700. Who the hell wants a Titan Z, seeing though it's dual?
Unless we're talking used, I guess. Yeah, there's no new cards around.
I bet that someone's trying to sell one for £600 still. I mean, people always talk about 690 being the last card that was dual SLI, but of course, SLI on a single card, but of course it wasn't.
Yeah, it's the Titan Z.
Which is the most people don't think about the Titan Z because it's Titan.
Which is essentially two 1080s in one card.
No, it's 780s, isn't it?
Wait, what?
It was 7 series.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was the Pascal series.
Nope. Oh, it's 470. No, they're out of stock. What a shame.
The problem with the Titans, they're all just called Titan, so it's hard to remember which generation they belong to.
Well, there's Titan, Titan Z, Titan X, Titan X again.
The only one that's easy to distinguish is the RTX Titan, because it's RTX instead of GTX.
Like, I remember this when they did it, like GTX Titan X, Nvidia Titan X. Like,
Wait, how did it go? There was Titan, then there was Titan Black, right?
yeah, then Titan Z, then Titan X, then Titan X again.
Wait, what did Titan Z consist of?
That's the dual one. That's the two of the Titan Blacks, or slightly lower clock
Wait.
versions of them.
The original Titan came out with the 6th generation. No, the 7th generation.
Yes.
Which one was?
Yeah, 7th gen. It was.
Well, it came out in between. It came out after the 6th, but before the 7th generation debut. Remember now?
Yeah, I think the Titan came out. It was the first 7th gen, but it wasn't called 7th gen.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
it was way ahead of anything else.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I bought it on launch day because I
bought-
wanted to run.
You didn't buy it on
Tomb
launch
Raider
day.
3D Vision.
You
Oh, my bad. It was the
bought-
first week though. It was like really early.
You bought it on the launch of Tomb Raider.
No, but it had just out as well.
Okay.
I'm certain it was the first week. It wasn't the first day.
It was. I think it was like 850, £800 he spent on that thing.
It was
From
813.
You still remember?
Which is cheap
Cheap
by today's prices.
standard, yeah. Positive bargain. I think I remember looking into buying one when I was trying to find a replacement card. But no, I looked into how good they were. I realized they weren't very good. I was thinking, oh, I can have a Titan, and they were like rubbish. They're actually quite cheap, I think. What the hell is PC accessories mice? What happened to the GPU on this down thing? Titan X.
Wait, so after the Black came the Titan X.
£145. Look at that. What the hell? Look how someone was taking the shroud off.
The Titan X was a 9 series card, right?
Well, no, there was Titan Black, which was like a slightly boosted.
Titan Black was still 700 series.
Yeah, and then the Titan Z, which was two of them on the same card. And then it
But this was also still 700 series.
yeah, and then it was the Titan X.
But then the Titan X was the 900 series.
Yep.
Oh, so Titan X is better than the Z.
It's about on par with the Titan
Yeah.
Z, but obviously it doesn't have all the problems with SLI.
Depends on SLI support, right?
And then it was the Titan X again for the 10th gen.
Wait,
version.
they made 2 Titan X's. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was so stupid.
So bad.
The worst naming scheme possible. 2 Titan X's. Literally the exact same.
There was one for the 9 series and one for 10. Yeah. No change. They were both Titan X.
Well, I'll hear
Oh
that.
yeah, people calling the second one NXP because it was Pascal.
Yeah, I remember that now, yeah.
It wasn't official, but it's like they came up with it as a way to distinguish.
Damn it.
Yeah. Officially, they were both just Titan X.
I mean, was that the Star Wars one, wasn't it? It was the 10th series.
Yeah, a Star Wars variant. Yeah, there were 2 of them, like light and dark side of the Force. You'd have got one of those out
Yeah.
instead of 1070.
£700? £750? They were pretty cool looking things, even if it's like,
Yeah, these probably hold their value a lot more than just like normal cards
yeah,
because of the novelty factor. Like you don't necessarily buy them for the performance.
no. That looks really dirty, that card. Or is that supposed to look like that? Is that how it looks? Look at all the dust in it.
That does look dirty.
You can't tell whether it's just grime. It looks clean from the back. I don't know if it's actually just the style of it. I feel like they clean it up if it was actually that bad.
So every generation we had 1 Titan, apart from the first generation, which have 3.
Yeah.
The Titan set all belonged. Yes, 7th generation. 100, yeah.
page is toast. Oh, it's only on interesting. Nvidia don't keep their historic websites. It's only and obviously it wasn't a GeForce card, so it didn't end up on the GeForce website. Like the GeForce, the GeForce sites keep the historic data, but the Nvidia don't. Nvidia kill off their URLs. So because it was on a GeForce card, there's no Nvidia website for it anymore. The old Titan cards.
Oh wow!
But because these are GeForce cards, they live on the G. If you look on the Nvidia links for the 680, they're all dead. But the GeForce ones are still alive.
Wait, so it's the GeForce site just in a what's it called mode? Legacy mode.
I don't know. I think GeForce is still going as a website. Yeah, they're still going as a website. The GeForce, but they keep old cards on it. I guess because it's like where they do all their drivers. You know, the drivers are still downloaded from here and stuff, so they keep a lot more.
All right, yeah.
Whereas the Nvidia's website is more for like marketing and big wow, this is what we're up to now kind of stuff, as opposed to just sort of a store page almost.
But they don't put the new cards on the GeForce site anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Or like the store pages.
No, no, they don't. As saying they don't put the Titans on here because the Titans were never GeForce cards. They weren't, they weren't gaming cards.
Right.
So they didn't ever end up on the site in the first place. So there's no links for them.
I see what you're saying.
Well, the Titans on here. That's probably because you can still buy it. Actually,
what about the RTX Titan? That's not a GeForce card either.
No, but that's obviously because you can buy it right now. That's for purchasing it. But yeah, the old links are obviously dead for the other things. So this is the marketing page, not the sort of facts page.
Yeah.
Compared to obviously they're older, but this is very much just a sort of factual information. Don't know how far back it actually goes, this thing.
I wonder how good the Founders Edition coolers are going to be the MP series compared to the other coolers out there.
Yeah, obviously there's like lots of. Well, there are some stuff about. No, there's Titan XP on here. No, there is more information. Why did not? Maybe Goo.
Oh wow, they did actually call it Titan XP officially.
Oh, why the hell did you do that? Where did you go to the next page and you suddenly do that? Oh, doesn't see a buggy website. This.
I swear it was just called the Titan X.
No,
maybe they changed it afterwards on this website.
It's a dead link. Need to fix their website, damn it! It's all full of dead links, like Nvidia 3D monitors, 3D vision kits. Why is this still on here?
That's funny. Maps found.
Next to their 2080 Ti links is a link.
They should send you a link eBay.
What is an RTX game? What if they still have their Nvidia 3D games page? Which used to give you like the performance criteria. 3D vision ratings. Does it still work or is it dead? It seems to be a.
This is the forum.
This is the forum, yeah. I don't suppose it's still.
I hate their current forum layout.
Yeah, I think it's dead, that link.
It's the worst forum I've seen.
This seems a bit weird, this. Legacy products. Forum. I think the I looked on earlier, wasn't it?
It's gone now.
Yeah, I think your only option is to go to the Wikipedia or Reddit page or something. What was the last game? But Batman Arkham Origin. Surely Tomb Raider did it, but it wasn't an official one, was it? Tomb Raider 2013. I guess it was an official 3D Vision game, wasn't it?
Guess not.
Batman Arkham Asylum 2009.
I mean, there's loads of games that have 3D vision that weren't 3D vision ready.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean much. And there were 3D vision ready games that had problems.
This is a very this is obviously 3D vision, yeah, so it's a very short list. Doesn't show you all the games.
It's like a pretty worthless list. There's way more games that support 3D vision well.
Yeah.
And the number increases further when you use mods.
It's all dead links now. 3D vision is dead.
It's still alive, Adam. It's just dead on the hardware side. The modders are still releasing fixes. You check Helix mod. And like I said, I've got it really streamlined now. You just download the launcher, similar to like GeForce Experience, or like Steam or whatever.
Yeah.
It just automates the whole business for you. Takes what games you have installed, and yeah, you just press it on the launcher, and it downloads the fix.
It's pretty cool.
But you don't need like manually do it. Yeah. It's just unfortunate, like the tech that still supports it now is really lagging behind.
Yeah. So your monitor is the last of the great 3D monitors.
Exactly, yeah.
The best of the technology.
I think there must be newer projectors that support it still.
Yeah.
But on the monitor side, slim pickings, yeah.
And obviously TVs died a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, actually, TVs lasted longer than monitors.
Yeah, it's like 2018, 17 was the last year they manufactured them.
Yeah, I think the LG C6 series supports 3D vision. I think it died off with the C7.
Mm.
So TVs had like 2 more years than monitors.
Yeah, it's all sadly going down the path.
Don't worry, Avatar 2 will get back.
Revised version.
The dream is if Avatar 2 brings glasses free 3D. I doubt that. I wonder if we'll see a new 3D tech at all with Avatar 2. All we know is it will support 3D 100%. But I'm really hoping that brings something new to the table.
£21.
But did first Avatar actually bring anything new to 3D? Now that I think about it, I don't think so. The 3D tech was already around, wasn't it? I mean the 3D tech that Avatar used.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was just the first film that did really well.
Yeah, it was really
And it was really popular. Like the shutter glasses 3D had already been around, replaced the red and blue glasses. Avatar didn't like pioneer the tech. Yeah, the annoying thing though when it comes to buying a card at launch, the embargo only lifts on launch day. But all the tech YouTube and whatnot, all the tech sites that get the cards early, test them, benchmark them and stuff, they can only reveal their findings when the cards are available for sale. Don't really have any time at all to decide like which one's the best for you. I mean in terms of like which one, Founders Edition or one of the board partner cards.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make that decision before you have access to the data. That tells you like which one's the best version.
Right. I think I shall disappear off.
Okay, mate.